he's not getting the kills, but he's 0, 1, and 5, the one death being very early on in that lane. So Mushi says, I can't stay here anymore. He's going top. I think Mushi's perhaps biggest mistake in this lane is he hasn't bought raindrops. I think that's just going to block a lot of the damage output coming out. Even if you're just blocking some damage from a Chaos Bolt, it's such a big boost to your health that it's definitely worth getting.
Look out top lane. They're going to kill the Kunkka. Not really much needed there. There was a hasted Viper coming in as well, so there's going to be no way that they stay alive there. There is easy pickup there for them. Kyle's the one that finds the kill, and with Jakiro, they shouldn't have any trouble taking that tower rather rapidly.
Mineski will push a lot faster. It is just a... That's going to kind of give them the push, and actually tower and defend. Ice already Mechwarrior on the creep wave that does scout Ice, but he may just look to defend this one. If you can get the creep waves off the tower.
Oh, this is a very bold move right here by Mineski, and they are going to come in. The orb has already been used by Limp, though, and now he's in a little bit of trouble trying to get out of there with the TP. Is it going to happen? No, they can't get him.
Yeah, he was a second or two away from another whirling death, very close to a kill. Kyle going to get the TP out. This is still what Mineski wanted. They took a tower while defending theirs. Considering how many Complexity heroes were committed to that bottom lane for the gank, expecting a tower follow-up, Mineski don't mind that they don't get a kill there. Obviously, a puck kill, fantastic, would have been a big win for them, but Mineski going to follow this up, the rotation's bottom, with some fight. As under the tower, Ice, bottom lane is really getting in their face. Chaos Knight even popped the ultimate, thinking he could kill him, but not the case when you've got 20 reactive armor. 36 total armor.
He is just a beast right now, and Viper and Timbersaw, you're not killing either of these guys at this point in the game at the very least. Do you think that's something that's going to be an issue going forward, Complexity running into damage issues?
Could become one. Omni's not a hero known for his damage output. Chaos Knight's going to need to farm more, which is, with the constant fighting, not happening. He's less farm than the Omni Knight, for example, so I think there's a lot of concentrated farm on Mu, which is not going to translate into an ability to kill either Timbersaw or Viper. And the really good thing for Mineski over the last couple of minutes is Mushi's just stuck it out top. He's just farming away. He's not pressuring the tower, but he's finally managed to get away from the action to get some farming levels.
Oh my god, again, Ice just daring them to come at him. They do repel Kyle. That's going to keep him back for the moment. Mechwarrior down as well. Nobody's really standing in it, and they do find the kill. Mu just going to punch Ice a few times before he heads off on his way, I guess.
Yep. Get himself out of there. Does lose his last couple of raindrops there, but not the biggest deal for him.
And, I mean, it definitely feels like Mineski, they're just really content to keep these lanes pushed out, and Complexity don't want to end up giving away this tower for free, for sure.
Yeah. Normally we've seen Cole's successes come from like this 15 to 20 minute, maybe even up to 25 minutes, like 5-man death ball. They have this big team fight, but it's a team fight that pushes really hard. Like the hero, Chaos Knight this game, they've had a lot of Chen picks. They always get these heroes that can take buildings and objectives and sustain. The Omni Knight being the big sustain hero this time, but with the start they had, they're unlikely to translate into a good mid-game push right now. So they're really going to have to start finding some key pickoffs, which is not easy to do until Puck gets a Blink Dagger.
Again, they go down bottom. Complexity trying to pressure this one out. Mu, he's standing toe-to-toe with Ice, but in some trouble. Going to be forced to repel. They're going to snowball forward and find themselves a kill onto Kyle. Yep. Mu forced to run away in mid lane. Let's see if they're going to be able to find anything in return, but seems unlikely.
And Cole could have maybe even had it worse off there. Perhaps they could have killed Mu there. They had the Walrus Punch to break any repel TP, but they went for the easy free kill because they want this tower. So Viper, Timbersaw charging forward at bottom. Ice is in his element right now, playing Timbersaw, constantly running at Cole in their face. 20 reactive armor almost permanently on this Timbersaw, and Cole cannot kill him. They've got to go for other targets.
They're trying to make it happen right now. There's the Dream Flail onto 2. Is this really going to amount to much, though? The Torrent comes out as well. Chessie is here, bringing everybody except for the Jakiro right now. And, well, Chessie taking a lot of damage from Ice. They throw out as well. The big old shark comes through, connects onto basically nobody. They are going to be able to bring down one, though, it looks like. That's actually the Omni Knight dead. Chessie falls as well. Mineski, they are not taking anything right now. Z-Freak is going to end up falling as well. Maybe no, they don't have anything to break the TP. But Complexity need to run away. Limp in trouble. Can he get out of there as well? The suck is there. They find another kill. Mineski are just dominating.
Holy cow, this This is by far the best game of Dota Mineski's played all tournament long. They've had their wins. They've made it through the semifinals, of course, winning 2 best-of-3s. But the way they're playing right now, this is a new Mineski we're seeing in the playoffs. They've really stepped it up. They're playing together as a team. The snowball saves from jabs, maybe not completely safe, but it just buys time. CK used Ultimate Reality Rift on this Viper to pull him in, and instantly the Tusk snowballs him, keeps him alive. Meanwhile, Ice doesn't get snowballed. He just runs in, tanks the damage, clears out the illusions, and there's nothing Cole can do. They have this decent sustain, this very farmed Omni Knight, but they're just unable to fight because Chaos Knight, despite the success they had with the aggro trailing, getting kills on Pugna, Chaos Knight hasn't farmed. This game for Cole really needed a farm Chaos Knight, and Mineski have been able to find Pugna room to farm. He went to the offlane untouched for the last, 5 minutes. Chaos Knight constantly fighting, unable to get those items.
They really need to catch back up. A 6,000 net worth lead. Kill score doesn't tell the whole story, even though it is a little bit of a lead there for Mineski, but it felt like that one was really just a backbreaker. They brought pretty much everybody there. I didn't see if Swindles didn't have his TP up yet at that point, but he ended up coming in a little bit later to the fight, and I don't even know if it would have mattered, honestly. It's just, it feels like they don't have what they need to either lock them down or find the kills.
It was this just frontline Timbersaw that you have to get past to get the kills because you're not killing him, and they tried to dive past him, go on the Viper, pull him in with Reality Rift, but Mineski say no. Well, with a hood now and a plate mail queued up, Ice is going to be damned hard to kill. Not going for any kind of a Bloodstone build, which is kind of a more snowbally build. He wants to go for the tankiest build possible, knowing that he can create space for his Pugna and his Viper to do the real heavy lifting as far as damage output.
And you look at this as well, Moo realizing that they're going to need to go for a plan B here. He's going for a Midas, and they're bringing in a lot of heroes.
Moo could be in trouble here. They've got Warrior's Punch for him.
Well, Midas something before you go down. He's dropping his items in his face. Stun, silence, wallop down to death.
Well. I think what Cole really needed to do was continue ganking and pressuring Mushi. He was the hero they decided to shut down, and then once he goes to the offlane, pushes the tier 1, he keeps farming, and Cole don't chase after him. I think they needed to follow Mushi wherever he went. He's the squishiest hero, he's the easiest kill, and they just let him farm uncontested, and that really has hurt them right now. They've been trying to deal with the Timbersaw, and Timbersaw's a hero you don't deal with, you ignore him. You ignore him and just wait for him to go away.
Oh man, it has well and truly gone astray here for Complexity, bleeding and beating away kills time after time, and then you understand it, like they need to keep these lanes pushed out. Even there, the X and then the Kunkka Xing himself and then throwing out the boat just to make sure that he clears off the creep waves, but it feels like it's just kind of delaying the inevitable push that's coming from Mineski. Yeah,
Mineski's not in a huge rush right now to go high ground or anything. They haven't got, they've got an okay high ground lineup, but they really want this Pugna to get a lot more farm. This is a hero that every item he gets makes him a lot scary. The Ags gives you the 0 cooldown on life drain. The Blink, maybe the Blink he's already got actually is going to be fantastic just for positioning. A BKB could help him a ton with all the magic damage flying around. So Pugna's definitely a hero that's going to scale incredibly well with farm this game, as well as the levels. You just want to get more points in the life drain, as well as all your other spells, which are going to be fantastic this game. Decrep, the Chaos Knight, by the time he gets farm, Decrep maxed out. Can't really go on anyone. There's no usual heroes on the dire side to deal with Decrep, so it's going to be very problematic for them.
I mean, is there a point, though, we've seen this hero get out of control before, is there a point where he gets to a level of farm where they can't deal with him?
On the Chaos Knight?
Yeah.
If he had the Midas to catch up, I'd say it could happen with time, but he's farming with his armlet, and it feels like, yeah, going Midas would have been a bad idea, but at the same time, it may have been the best idea of whatever possible items he could have gotten. Just because Cole's way back in this game is the Chaos Knight getting scared. You do get to a point where you're incredibly hard to deal with, even with a Timbersaw on your team. Viper's going Maelstrom to deal with the illusions, but you're not going to get enough farm without that farming item, and I don't think Chessie's going to get there without a Midas.
Tier 2 tower falls in the top lane, and eyes set either towards Roche or another objective, but like you said earlier, it's sort of at their leisure. They don't need to pressure and make anything happen super early on in this time, and well, that Agi talent as well. When I look at Viper's talents, I cringe a little bit. It's so freaking good, that much Agi at this level.
Yeah. It's pretty nice. He also gets some amazing ones later on, 20 armor at level 25. He's got some of the worst level 20 talents, but you know, you take that for the other 3 talents you get.
Now, building towards that BKB now as well, just to make him that indomitable force, hitting towers and taking the life away from Cole, so we'll have to watch and wait. I mean, is there another like smoke gank rotation that you can make with Cole, or like what's the ideal hero to go on here?
Yeah, Pugna again, he's the squishiest, he's the easy kill. You have to make sure you actually cancel his blink, so when you go on him, you need Pug to get an instant blink coil or a blink silence, so you do damage, and Mushi does not get a chance to blink out of there. And we've seen Mushi alone, like, it was alone at top for a long time, so they didn't use their smokes, I feel. I don't think we've really seen any attempts at real coordinated smokes from Cole as a team. I think they're realizing it's time now. They've got 2 smokes, one on Kunkka, one on Jakiro. Time to try and use them. Problem is, Mineski are grouped up, so it's very hard to smoke into this 5-man unit.
And if I'm not mistaken, I believe they have ward vision all around this area as well, scouting out all of Complexity's movement.
And they've seen the smokes in the inventory, I'm sure, so they're probably telling each other, they've got 2 smokes, they're going to be looking to use them, let's just stick together.
Oh, they pull back in one. It's a hope and a prayer, but a snowball puts the kibosh on that. The boat's going to actually connect, and well, the ice bat to fall. Are they really going to do this? Mineski getting pulled apart. What the hell happened there?
The snowball didn't last long enough. Wasn't really Jabs' fault as far as he had to let the snowball go. It got to the point where it was at its max duration, but perhaps used it a little bit too soon, and the Viper getting jumped on. The perfect target at this point. When you can't get to the Pug and the Viper's your next best bet. He's gone for this Maelstrom build, so he is a bit squishier without any extra armor items, and Cole were able to get the perfect initiation. Yeah,
and maybe just feeling a little bit too confident in their own abilities, but Complexity's showing that they still do have a possibility to fight.
3-man boat. Kill one of the 3 heroes, you torrent the other 2. It was just a perfect chain stun, the ice path, everything just worked perfectly. I mean, what happened, it very much was the wombo combo moment. When you hit, that's kind of where Tusk Snowball can backfire. This is a spell when Tusk first came out and people were using the hero, Snowball lost games for the team using it. You know, you Snowball it. We saw so many times where a team would 3-man, 4-man Snowball into like a Tidehunter or something, and boom, Ravage hits everyone. Game is lost. Chronosphere. Like, there's so many good AoE spells that counter Snowball incredibly well, and Cole have a few of them. Jakiro is one of the kind of better support counters to Tusk. You Snowball, you know what's coming, you drop an ice path, and you have a guaranteed hit. So very hard to play Tusk against some of these heroes. That's where Jabs isn't using the Snowball offensively. He's purely using it to try and save and block spells, which is how you have to use the hero against these kind of lineups. You can't try and aggressively Snowball in against a Jakiro. He's going to try and dodge X-Torrents. He's going to try and dodge like Chaos Knight pops his ultimate, stun someone, he's going to try and save that stun done hero.
Well, and now Mineski realizing that they're not immortal, they're going to pick up the Aegis of Immortal and try and help themselves out, smoke forward.
A little bit close to a dire ward maybe, but maybe Mineski just don't care. Viper finds a fortunate DD to help him take that Roche nice and fast, and yeah, Mineski just going to start chipping on the tower.
Another ward placed down there on the high ground. They have vision, and this is so hard to deal with.
That smoke is worth it almost just to get that high ground ward without being spotted, so with a high ground ward, it's very easy for them to play around Cole's initiation. Doesn't have reactive armor.
This is a lot of damage on Ice Ice, and again, another snowball. Do they have enough to lock them all down? Again, they've caught themselves. Ice Ice, that's going to be another kill. Mineski maybe have gone too far. Yet again, the long duration stun onto the Tusk. It pulls him back in, and he goes down as well. Mineski far, far out of position, and this punishes so heavily. You do have the X, they pull back in again onto that Viper, trying to kill him off. Mushi is moving forward. Can they keep him alive with the decrep? It's looking like it's okay. Limp is there as well. They pop the Guardian Angel. Can they keep him under control? Limp again, taking a lot of damage. That Viper just deals so much of it, the Ice Path, but they need to back out right now. There's the long acceleration suck as well, and Jesse trying to stay alive, but it's not going to happen.
Nana just so strong, and Ice is back with the Bloodstone. He respawned incredibly fast. They don't have buyback on Chaos Knight, they do in the park.
Yeah, and it was looking good for a moment, but maybe now a bit too much. And even if they do take down the Viper, he's still got that Aegis. They force the buyback there from the Puck. They bring in another, this Pugna ward as well, doing a ton of damage, but they're also able to get a 2-person Torrent inside of a Macro Pyre with a life drain from Mushi, keeping Ice alive. They turn on to Kyle, they take him down as well. Jakiro buyback, they have to hold, but it's feeling like it might just be too much. Viper strike as well. This is going to be a dieback. Complexity getting rolled over here as the barracks are most likely going to fall. The boat comes in, but to no avail.
Yeah. They'll get the racks for sure. Cole will not tap out at this point. It is not an entirely lost game, but a very difficult game to turn around. But Mineski looked a bit too gung-ho at the start there, and I think definitely was a bit too far forward for Ice particularly. Until you have that 20 reactive armor, you don't want to go right into your enemy tower. He got pulled deeper into the enemy base, gets X-Torrent voted. Even with the snowball buying him some time, he never was able to build up the regen and the armor he needs to survive there. So really good jump from Cole to try and hold their base. Mineski just had too many tools. The chase afterwards, Viper just too tanky, stayed alive for an incredibly long time, and ultimately destroyed Cole.
And I guess at the end of the day, with the you know, Bloodstone up, it didn't end up mattering. He just comes back in, and it's fine and dandy anyways. Still have 12 Bloodstone charges.
Yep. Took him a little bit longer because he doesn't have the travels, but the fight lasted such a long time. That's where Viper's great. Viper makes fights last a long time because he's so tanky. You can't just bring him down instantly at this point. That really paid off. I don't like that Limp went for this Boots of Travel this game. He gets the Veil now. If he had the Veil instead of Travels there, you're a lot better off. I feel like Boots of Travel, when you're the ones defending high ground, I guess Cole obviously weren't anticipating to be in this position. The Veil is just going to help out your entire team. Kunkka, Jakiro, all of their spells doing more damage with a Veil that fight could have made the difference. They may have actually been able to finish off that Viper, so I think Limp's Boots of Travel purchase is a big expensive item for a hero that doesn't have much farm. That was his first major item after his Blink was a Boots of Travel. The Veil would have been a lot better for the constant fighting going on.
Yeah. Well, and I think that, you know, like you said, it's definitely not the way that they wanted the game to go, but it's sort of the problem that they're now facing. They do manage to get Z-Freak out of there in the bottom lane. They hit on a scan, Radiant, but weren't able to find the kill. So Shrine's now taken. Aegis for not that much longer on Mineski. It might have actually already gotten expired.
60 seconds.
So where do you go at this point if you're either team, I guess?
Mineski want to keep chipping. Even with that short duration on Aegis, they're going to push out lanes with the Timbersaw. He's got Boots of Travel now. They're also going to wait maybe for like some kind of initiation, but Viper, Pugna, you can siege from a very safe distance. For Cole, you need to do similar to what you did last time. Yeah, you lost your axe, but the idea was solid. Jump a hero, someone like the Timbersaw before he's got reactive armor, pull in a Viper when the Aegis expires, and get onto the Pugna. Need to get that big team fight initiation, that wombo combo, that boat to initiate. The Chaos Knight needs to get in there. They really want to try and find the big team fight if Mineski push high ground. If they're not, farm up. Chaos Knight needs his BKB. That's going to be the big key item for them at this stage.
And still a little ways away before the next nighttime. It feels like Mineski very comfortable just waiting for that and, you know, to get everything else that they need. At that point, if like they wanted to, is there any value in them trying to take the fight before they get towards sieging high ground or catch Mineski off guard? Yeah,
it's a good way of getting to the target you want. If you let Mineski set up right outside your base, Pugna, Tusk are going to be very well positioned. Pugna so that he can't get gone on, Tusk so that whoever does get gone on can get a snowball save. So the surprise factor of smoking out of your base and taking the fight away from your base is always going to be a strong tool to use against a lineup with like a hero like Pugna who wants to sit back, not get caught. So if you can somehow get a smoke wraparound, get the back lines, go on the Tusk, go on the Pugna, you're going to have a much better chance of winning a fight. Problem is, it's very hard to do that during nighttime because of Ninja Boogie's vision advantage.
Yeah, speaking of which, he scouted out the Omni Knight there, and they're all moving up towards the top lane. They will be able to have eyes on him. Silence, break in the TP. Oh, no.
Yeah.
Moo is most likely dead here. They have all the control in the world in just a second, and I think that nobody from Complexity is going to be able to get there in time to help out Moo. So shards come through, Walrus punch as well, and he is going to go down.
He had the Greaves to break the silence. He could have gone for a repel TP, but if he does that, there's the Walrus punch. So Tusk has proven to be a very useful hero to have this BKB Magic Immune Piercing disable. We've seen multiple times where Moo has gone down because he can't just repel TP away. And with that kill, they are going to chip away at top. This should be at least a tier 3 tower, possibly even Rex. 40 seconds without an Omni Knight.
Yeah, and all of the buybacks were used earlier by the rest of the heroes too, pretty much. So you really don't have a build, like if you lose anybody at this point, pretty much, it's maybe even game.
I totally agree. One dead core hero, whether it's Tusk or Chaos Knight, in the next 10 seconds is a guaranteed racks, possibly game. Depending on how Cole want to play, they're 2 racks down. The BK can't finish his BKB in time, unfortunately.
Oh, Reality Rift. There's an X as well. They've got a good bit of damage there. Still no Omni Knight, though. Scary stuff as Chessie brought down to half HP already. Actually turns on to Mushi, able to blow him up, but the turnaround, it's going to be there. Jabs has just been playing out of his mind. The BKB comes out. Limp just trying to orb away from that. They will be able to chase, find another kill. Chessie falls. They buy back on Mushi. Mineski smelling blood and smelling a game 1 victory. Unless something magical happens here from Complexity. Greaves again, trying to turn, trying to keep him alive, and they are able to force a couple back, but Mineski can just reset and go again.
Boots to travel back in means they're ready to fight immediately. Kyle's probably dead here. Has got the Shrine that may save his life. It's going to be close.
Ice Path out as well. They're keeping him controlled. Limp on the backlines, trying to kill off Jabs, but the Decrep, it keeps him alive as well. They can't keep a kill onto anybody. Complexity just trying to find anything at all, but this big bad Viper standing in front of all of them. 3 seconds stun, another Decrep. Night Stalker's not dying. Chessie finally falls. And that might be the nail biter. The Jabs, Walrus Punch, the stun as well. He can't get the orb out. And that should be game number 1. Mineski, make it happen.
Whew. That was very well thought out from Mineski. From the draft to the way they played the aggression, created space for Mushi to farm. Couple, maybe, I don't even want to say slip-ups on the high ground, but some good defense from Cole where they made it look close. I mean, Mineski, maybe they went for the dive. They end up winning the fight well enough. They got the rack, so the results speak for itself as Mineski take a big win against Cole here. Cole went
Dire's top tower is under attack.
A bounty which my matriarch will prize. I'll take that. A gift from the tempest of battle. And run! Invisibility!
Radiant's middle tower is under attack. middle tower is under attack. Radiant's middle tower has been denied. Dire's bottom tower is under attack. Dire's bottom tower is under attack. Is under attack.
I had hoped. Distracting you was no one.
So this is Winston. Dire's top tower is under attack. Radiant's bottom tower is under attack. Radiant structures are fortified. Radiant's bottom tower has fallen. Dire's top tower is under attack.
Even my horn survives. Haste! Warriors of the wood.
Dire's top tower is under attack. Dire's structures are fortified. Dire's top tower has fallen.
Take that. The seeds of fortune.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Well.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Yes.
Radiant's top tower is under attack. Radiant structures are fortified.
Next. Bounty, which my nature prize.
Radiant's top tower has been denied. Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
The last was dust. Unseen. Double kills.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack. Dire's middle tower is under attack. Dire's middle tower is under attack. Dire's middle tower has fallen. Radiant's bottom tower is under attack. Dire's middle tower is under attack. Dire's structures are fortified. Radiant's bottom tower is under attack. Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Bury me in the social ruins.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Lost my spark. Timber.
Radiant's middle tower has fallen. Radiant's middle tower is under attack. Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Strength renewed, purpose with it. Double kill. Who outroots me? I'll take your One night claims another. I could not bear to be away from the sacred woods.
Radiant team pick.
Dire team ban.
Josh. Chef Josh.
Chef Josh is, well, he's a chef.
And
He's a mental
motivator.
coach. He's a motivator. He's a personal trainer.
The workout buddy.
Workout buddy.
Personal trainer that
Gives
falls
great
into
hugs.
that.
Yeah.
Just a good dude to be around.
Yeah, and a good dude to have standing behind you when you're doing the draft, offering a lot of
5
positive
seconds
mental attitude.
remaining.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Dazzle. Sorry.
Sorry,
Where
yeah.
the hell did Dazzle come from? Like, this was all kind of okay. We've seen the Winter Wyvern before. We haven't seen, like, a whole lot of Sand King, but sure, it's like, it's a hard initiator, gives you lots of team fight. But Dazzle, I did not see coming.
Dazzle good versus Wyvern.
That's just it? You
Yeah.
just down with Dazzle versus Wyvern, that's it.
Get Winter's Curse. Grave.
10 seconds
We've grave.
remaining.
What more do you want, Dom?
I mean, even if you save them from the grave, you're still going to take lots of damage,
Sure,
right?
but,
You're
like,
still going to be super grouped up,
You don't die.
but you don't die.
You don't die.
Okay, in that case, Will, I pose to you, then why not say Oracle? It would give you time to actually maybe cast some spells after the Winter's Curse before you die.
Because Oracle sucks.
10 seconds
Why?
remaining.
Dazzle's the best. I don't know. I think Weave's great.
5 seconds.
Dazzle,
remaining.
like the constant heal, nice against Sand King. Oracle would have been okay too. I would have been alright with Oracle.
So why pick it up first too? Because it feels like that's the kind of pick that is fairly easily countered. You kind of know what you want with it because you know you want to have physical hard hitters that benefit a lot from that weave that you mentioned.
Ooh, I can get that one, Will.
All right, go for it.
Right.
Sure.
Is it the support core concept? Do you have a support that counters potentially the core
Radiant
Winter
team
Wyvern?
ban.
Yeah.
That
It's
just-
not
that
just that.
feels
It's
nice.
also like seems like the Southeast Asian / Chinese scene really like picking their 1-2 supports early.
Yeah.
What they
China
banned
was
this time?
always going.
They banned Bat Rider. What does that tell you?
Remaining.
This cold take.
5
They want some sort of like
remaining.
maybe
Maybe that means Sand King is their real offlaner, and they don't want to be put into a position. Because at this tournament especially, everyone's doing like this wonky lane stuff, where they're willing to like give their offlaner like the best potential 1v1 lane.
oh, the Batrider beat the Winter Wyvern when Complexity was playing it. Or
Batrider
no,
also
no,
beat
no,
Sand
Winter
King.
Wyvern beat the Batrider, but I think Batrider should win
Remaining.
against Wyvern. We were talking about
All
that.
these like attack-based heroes are really annoying to play,
Remaining.
especially since Sand King like turn rate based. Stun.
Isn't Rider really good against Necro as well?
Yeah. Batrider is one of the better solutions. But
But we've seen Mineski not really give a damn about Batrider.
yeah. They did. Mineski's played Necro minimum one time. I know Jabs played it against.
Yeah.
Against Liquid. It was a Liquid? Yeah, it was. It was against the Out game. They banned Beastmaster Chen again. Exact same 4 bans. Complexity had 3 out of the 4 bans. What they ban last time? 4th instead of the AM?
Enchantress.
Enchantress.
Because I guess with Jabs, no, they can still go for Ice Enchantress if they want to. Whoa, more team fight.
They picked their 3, 4, and 5 positions right here. Unless I've completely out the meta and Warlock's like carry or something.
What do you think of this for these first 3? Because it is very heavy in on a team
10
fight. And
seconds remaining.
we've just seen previous game that, you know, you can have all the team fight you want, but
5
sometimes
seconds
you're just not going to get the chance to
remaining.
get your combo off.
And
I
also,
think-
I mean, you also, if they're doing core Winter Wyvern, like all these Winter Wyverns want to have the 1v1. They don't want to go against the tri lane.
Warlock?
Do you think you're okay with Sand King Warlock and aggro tri or something?
Yeah, Warlock's just a really good laner. He's one of like the lane dominators. Really good base attack time, good damage. Just annoying harass, heal. Trades well.
Your lane supports are pretty weak in comparison on Mineski's side.
Yeah. Dazzle's better as an aggro dual laner. Always has been. Same with Tuss though.
Timber saw.
They just take Timber
Okay.
again.
Why not?
So this is where Cole, they've got to reveal one of their cores earlier. But they're second, right? They have second pick.
10
Yeah,
seconds
So they
first
get-
pick was
remaining.
So they ultimately get to decide like what
5
hero
seconds
wins them the game.
remaining.
Yeah.
Last game it was not Omni.
Not Omni Knight.
I'd like them to last pick their mid then.
Last week Glimpse Hero.
Yeah, I think it's vaguely more important here than Chessie's.
Don't
What
you
do
feel
you
like
like?
they have more of a chance to go for Curveball with with Jesse's hero? I was gonna say, but that's a
Yeah.
Jesse hero. Not Seeker. Is it? It is, right?
Yeah.
It's Jesse. Yeah.
Plus you crush
Hard
Timber.
counter, Timber. Hard counter.
You would think it's the opposite. As if you thought it was the opposite in chat, so did I.
10 seconds
Wait, how do you think
remaining.
it's? How
Well,
did
in my
you
mind,
think
I
it
was like,
the opposite?
I saw a Bloodseeker on the enemy team and he was solo, and I was like, I'm a Timber. Like Timber beats all melee heroes.
But there's
no.
a rupture. And you can
No,
be so
It's
fast.
not just rupture. It's the laning phases. Oh my lord, it's annoying.
Yeah.
Because you can't harass him because every time you
You
do,
can't
he'll
harass
just
him. He
heal
regens
and-
you out.
Yeah.
He right clicks you when you don't have armor.
Yep.
If any lane gets low at all, you just get chased down and die in like 5 hits.
It sounds like you have some personal.
You
grief.
you think to
Oh.
yourself like, oh, reactive armor, I'll stand and
Yeah,
those
yeah.
last him right clicking me. No, because you right click him back and do whatever damage, but you do nothing because he heals.
Yes.
Timber saw you are taking some damage.
Yeah.
Reactive armor doesn't go up to 20 stacks until level 7 there.
No. I learned this
Yeah. Yeah, you get real dumpstered.
I was like, man,
10
fundamentally I was like, this is gonna be sick. Like I'm gonna crush this kid.
What lanes well against Bloodseeker because they can still potentially switch it up because we have seen Mineski being really clever with their lanes.
You need to be able to just like harass him out of the lane. Clock is really good, but obviously they can't take clock anymore.
No. They're still banning out the Brood even though
The heroes
Bloodseeker
that,
is
like,
pretty good against.
Can sit there. Maybe they take some hero like DP. They banned out Brood again.
Yeah. in case.
It's just an annoying
10
hero.
seconds
This isn't the same brood
remaining.
that would just get countered by like axes and Sand Kings.
5
Because you don't
seconds
rely on the lane
remaining.
so much anymore. You farm ancients.
And so, do you feel like the last pick of Mineski needs to be a hero that deals with the Bloodseeker, or can they just, you know, accept the fact that that lane is going to be lost and focus somewhere else?
I mean, I'm sure you just take like a Viper again.
Yeah.
Aggro with your Necro or something.
We last picked Pugna last time,
They banned Sniper. Okay.
and that's a counter to Pugna.
It's a counter to Pugna, and it's probably one of the better heroes against Vipes. And Complexity did Bloodseeker Sniper
Yeah,
just
Okay.
yesterday,
I was
2 days ago.
10 seconds remaining.
let's
5 seconds remaining.
Do Bloodseeker Visage. They're really wild.
You want more magic damage.
They're really wild. They would take Pugna or Zeus.
Zeus.
I thought about Zeus, but then
You realize that it wasn't 2015?
yeah, that's
Luna,
rough
what?
edge. Oh, Luna.
Crazy. You do take Luna though in games where you want to just like hold the line. And against Bloodseeker, you just want to stand still.
Don't you kind of have to do? I mean, I don't really like it so much against a lot of this like
10
really good single
seconds
target. Don't you kind of have to
remaining.
do Death Prophet here? You need a high ground. Because I was thinking like, what about
5
Ember Spirit or
seconds
something? But if you don't
remaining.
have high ground,
DP's
you're just
good.
gonna lose out to Luna Necrophos.
DP's good. Viper's good. Pugna's good. Who else is there? I was thinking, my initial thought was Pugna, but
I kind of like the Viper submission as well.
Viper, just some range hero. Take a range hero, guys. They're ready. They're picking.
Already.
Everyone's sitting down.
You ever do?
DP's okay, actually. Silence would be pretty nice. I think he's an alright laner too.
What about the Lone Druid replacement?
It is
Pugna.
Pugna. Told you, Austin.
Good work, Will. I never disagreed with you.
Yeah, you did.
What?
You installed doubt into my mind by suggesting the Pug or the DP. I was pretty certain of that Pugna. And I said I even gave you a wild
I'm sorry
pick.
for interfering in your mental
I even
processes,
gave you a
William.
wild pick by picking Zeus. I like that. You know when you throw out that wild pick?
Mhm.
Like Zeus. Because I like the Nimbus Cloud. I think it's cute.
Cute does not win games.
You don't know that. Pugna's adorable.
Undead
Okay,
skeleton
to
baby.
each his own. Cap, you said that Complexity did it before. They lost one game, came back 2 games in a row. Are they gonna do it with this one?
Приготовьте
I like their
девушку.
draft more than
То есть
Mineski's.
держите
Alright,
просто
you agree,
девушку.
Will?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. So, according to our analysts, we are gonna see a game 3. Let's find out if that's the case with Lyrical and Gods.
Thank you very much, Sheever. And Gods, it's sort of been the trend this tournament. It feels like that if a team loses, they have to go back to the drawing boards and sometimes just get 2-0'd anyways. Panel thinks it's going to go to 3 games. What do you think?
I think Panel's onto something. Colstrap, very good. The Bloodseeker, very good counter. I think the one, I don't know about worry, the one thing they have done with their draft is very much prioritize countering the Ice Timbersaw. The question is, if you go over the top with that, can you do it? Can you do it to Luna? You just hold your ground, you get ruptured. He's running at you, you drop an Eclipse before you get silenced. Even if you get silenced, you pop your Manta, then you Eclipse him. So Luna's a very good hero against the Bloodseeker, I feel. Necrophos should do pretty well this game as well. Is likely going to get a 4-staff and stuff to get away from those Bloodseeker silences. So I don't feel it's a clear-cut draft win, but I definitely agree that Cole have put themselves in a better position with their draft.
Yeah, and well, interesting thing to keep our eyes on also, this Winter Wyvern, this time around going to be played by Z-Freak. So a lot of people were, you know, seeing that first pick, and we've seen it be played in the off lane as well. How do you feel about the Winter Wyvern in the 4 role?
More used to seeing it in this role, although last time I saw Z-Freak play it, he played it almost like a carry anyways, much like Mu was done. So I feel like we're going to see this, even 4-position Wyvern, go for this, like, right-click build somewhat, just because it seems to be some trendy thing that actually is pretty powerful, the amount of right-click damage the hero can deal. So we'll see kind of what comes from it. It's a hero that when you play the hard support, it's kind of like, yeah, you're a 5. It's Z-Freak playing it. He's not going to be playing a selfless style with it. That's the Warlock. Warlock, that's your 6th position hero. You don't do Warlock plus Winter Wyvern if your Wyvern's not going to farm like mad.
Well, and it's sort of a little bit of an interesting thing, seeing the Warlock come back. Is Z-Freak going to try and go for the steal here?
Courier, either a Courier Snipe or just some Harass. We've seen Courier Snipes not succeed, so I think the Harass might be better. No, he's not going to go. He's going for the Courier.
Okay.
He'll be patient.
See if he's able to find it. Obviously, having that ward there gives pretty good vision. I think I heard some shards over there in the top lane as well, getting some lane blockage going on.
Yeah, nice thing to do for the Timber. He's got a rough lane matchup. Help secure it a little bit. He's on against the Trilon. It is the 1v1. As Blitz mentioned, this Bloodseeker can do very well against Timber 1v1. Z-Freak's going in for the Ras now mid, though.
Yeah, that's probably the right play. The Tusk Psalm.
Yeah, Tusk Psalm, and that Courier Snipe has just become a low probability play with how many times Couriers have been sniped. If support's missing from the map, that Courier's not going to move.
Chessie, like you said, the lone Bloodseeker up here, at least for the moment, since they decided to stick the Warlock down there in the bottom lane with the Sand King to try and pressure the Luna a little bit more.
This is good, though. You give Timbersaw a lane partner to actually help him win the lane, because he's not going to win this 1v1, so... Basically, Mineski say, as we've seen a bit, let's give Mushi a rougher time. He'll catch up later. Let's make sure Ice has the lane advantage. They much more prioritize Ice winning his lane over the other players, and exactly what's going on here.
Ooh, a little bit off the mark there with the shards.
Yeah, Tusk TP bottom, hoping to get a first blood there. You don't go for that TP from top to bottom if you don't think you have a first blood this early on. He has secured Ice's lane enough, but not getting a kill there. A bit unfortunate.
Yeah, they would have loved to be able to get that. And like you said, though, it is Ice, 8-1 so far versus the 3-0 of the Bloodseeker. That should start to switch around a little bit more. But what about this Sand King and Warlock combo together? What do you think about this?
Strong dual lane.
Actually, mid lane, but end up taking that Necro.
Well played, well played. Nice little early kill there. Wyvern's been very active, harassing mid, goes top, then comes back mid for a kill. So limp off to a very good start. This is a tough matchup for sure for the Necro.
Jabs, he's actually chasing there on the Warlock. And
harassing as much as possible.
Yeah, I was just wondering with the haster in there if they could do something.
Forces Warlock to heal himself, which means less mana. He's going to go back to base because of this. Jabs will go back bottom. But now that Mu has level 2, he's got the Burrow Strike. That TP bottom for the kill was very much because Mu went for level 1 Caustic. So if you can get him before he's got that Burrow Strike, it is a very possible kill. But even with the Burrow Strike, though, still a possible kill. Doesn't have Sandstorm.
A lot of damage. They can maybe go for a good bit in return, and seeing if Mu can make his way out of there. He is going to get hit and caught in by the shards. Not able to escape.
Yeah, nice. Nicely done. Very patient from Jabs, waiting to go in until Mu was nice and low and gets a good enough ice shards off. Didn't get the full block, but pushed him into the tree. And in some ways, he got a better block than what you'd normally expect out of the ice shards. Z-Freak continuing to roam around, coming back mid, could pose a threat to Nana.
They scan it though right away. Oh, they are still going to deal some damage. They come through and, well, trying to back away from there. Good bit coming through. Necro starting to drop low. The shard's going to block out one actually, so Z-Freak not able to get there in time, but Limp still doing enough damage on the Pugna, and the little green man finds the kill.
Yeah, with the boots, he's so incredibly fast. 380 movement speed, Necro. No boots, 285. The movement speed difference there proved to be too much. Jabs even tried to get a good ice shots blocked off, just couldn't do it. And this mid lane proving to be very rough for Nana. He's 1v2. That's effectively what's happened though. The Wyvern constant harass has proven to be too difficult for him to deal with.
Well, also keeping in mind that it is the Luna getting pretty good free farm there. It looked like she might have been going back for a Midas in this instance, or you think that this is going to end up being the Treads?
The Helm of the Dominator.
Oh, okay.
I want to say Mushi might be a Helm of the Dominator buyer, but we'll find out.
Yeah.
Not sure if there's any obvious creep to get this game, but and as you mentioned, Treads of course always fine. Midas Luna seems dubious.
Fair enough. Let's see.
For Mineski style, because they're going to have this Timbersaw is going to get level 7. He's going to be running at people. You want Mushi. I mean, last game he played the farming style, but you want him to be more aggressive with how he uses the hero, trying to spend the Eclipse early on.
can see up top here as well, this Ice Timbersaw continuing to pull the creep wave past and get those reactive armor stacks up.
Necro is jungling. That's how rough mid lane's gotten, and it's going to get rougher because Wyvern's nearby. Unlikely kill, but it's harass. It's potentially a neutral snipe. It's experience being lost. Oh, Z-Freak, what the heck? That neutral? Got some map hack going on.
Yeah, I don't know why it ended up aggroing him there. That was kind of odd.
Yeah.
Not able to get the last hit on it either, so still get the experience and a little bit of a thorn on that side of the Necrophos as he heads back mid. And maybe going to try and set up on him here again. The Necro doubles back, runs into Z-Freak, and well, he's going to have to run.
He's finding the Wyvern. He's not dying, but you want to be farming, and that's something that, even though Wyvern is getting scouted out, is stopping Necro from doing Pugna. Level 6.5. Necro just hit level 5. Limp hasn't started pressuring the tower yet. With this siege creep, he may look to actually take the tier 1 mid very early. Problem is, you take it too early, you push out the lane, Necro actually gets some farm because you push the lane towards him.
Wyvern coming in now, starting to deal a little bit of damage onto these heroes, gets down to the low ground, backs out. Moo does have a burrow strike, but it's just going to be Wyvern gain up to the high ground. And, well, a free lane mid, Complexity holding on bottom. Things looking pretty good for him so far.
Yeah, Cole's laning stage is definitely been advantageous. The mid win is the big one there, but top lane, Chessie, holding his own, getting good farm. ISO level 5, this is where this lane gets very problematic, and well, perhaps you could even say level 6 when he's got the ultimate, but he's going to need the Soul Ring to actually sustain using the chakra.
Now, see that come out now as he does have...
Oh, here comes Limp. ISO could be in a lot of trouble.
See if they can find this kill. Still no great way to do it, but yeah, he's out of there.
Had the sick charges.
I think that ward spotted the Pugna rotation in.
Yeah, oh, the one back down the river.
Exactly.
Yeah, of course. Bottom lane, not sure what happened there. Z-Freak gets picked off. Nice little kill. He's been very annoying. Typical getting him.
Yeah, but very passive relative to what we saw in the last game. I guess just the tri-lane versus tri-lane was really the impetus for it. But where do you see the rotation starting to come out later?
Ooh, Luna level 6, maybe level 7, because then you've got the level 4 Lucent Beam. That's where you can see her start moving around the map. And then Ice getting his hood. That's when he's going to just start running to a lane and taking power shots.
Ice playing it very fast and loose, able to walk away for the moment. And Limp still chasing. He's pretty freaking quick, but too hard. Yeah,
I don't think it's going to work. He can always Timber Chain away. The short cooldown means he's going to get out of the life drain, but they've swapped up the lanes. Chessie's actually going mid while Pugna effectively zones out Ice. You can't really go to the lane to farm because Nether Blast does too much damage. The life drain is very annoying as well. All you can do is run away from the Pugna. Here comes Moo looking to see what's going on. Ice has to get the hell out of here.
Maybe a burrow strike here just is a little bit of an annoying thing. They come through, D-Crab, there's the stun. Nether Blast, they do a hell of a lot of damage to him. Mineski bringing in the rest of them though. Limp, can he stay alive? No, Reaper Scythe comes out and they take the kill.
That was nice turnaround. Felt like Cole were not fully on board with the dive. Moo was not going for it until he saw the he was turning around, and then he saw the D-Crab and he's like, oh, I guess we are going for this, and getting the kill. Not really worth it for the Pugna to die to the Necro ultimate there. That is a bigger kill for Mineski at this stage. Yes, Ice is the big problematic offlane player, but that mid Pugna was getting very farmed. Perhaps we'll make Ice consider getting something like a raindrop. If he has a raindrop there, he can survive that burst damage.
They saw Chessie as well. He thought about maybe going in there. He was moving pretty quick because Luna was jungling and kind of low HP, but don't decide to go for it.
It's going to be the treads into Mask of Madness, standard farming Luna build that we're seeing. It's what like Arme popularized at TI. Just get Mask of Madness on every carry, farm some newts. You can still fight very well with the item. Once you drop your Eclipse, you don't really need to be casting spells too much. Very good item to get on Luna, and it is stacked Dota. They've got a quad stack at their Ancients, so a lot of stacks to farm for Mineski here once Luna gets some more levels.
Z-Freak is down bottom. Just going to try and place a ward and try and be a bit sneaky, soaking up whatever experience he can. He was fairly low. The burrow strike actually to the low ground. Kyle there as well, and well, Ice knows the limits of his hero very well.
It will be the right-click damage build coming out from Wyvern. Going for phase boots, not the arcane boots. going for the max Arctic Burn. He's not getting any early points in Cold Embrace. He is going for that.
Oh, burrow mid timber chain though. They find it, and that should be a kill. Another one on Ice Ice Ice.
Very well played. This top tier 1 tower should be the follow-up at bottom lane. They are looking for Z-Freak.
Able to fog him away, trying to dodge. Can they get out? Ah, seems
That's
unlikely. Yeah, they've got this kill, I believe.
Yeah. Holding the Lucid Beam to make sure he doesn't TP. Won't even. We'll use it to secure the kills, but won't need it.
Well, top shrine, they find Kyle again. There's going to be the Reaper Scythe out. They find that kill, but Complexity still are able to take down the tower.
Yeah. Nice little return kill there, as Warlock didn't have mana for the ultimate. Maybe he'd been able to drop it and get the Sand King Pugna rotation in. Could have gone a bit better for him, but Mineski were losing that tower regardless, so getting a kill and some more farm on Necro out of it, definitely a nice little pickup for them. But ultimately, it is still the strong early game of Cole is translating into towers and objectives off of Pugna's great mid lane. Pugna 5k net worth, Necro the highest on the Radiant side, 3.8.
Look at the Sand King as well, up on the high ground, sort of looking to open up there, and the decrep, the rupture, every damn thing. Move by the finish, and Limp is the one that gets the kill. That was a lot of hate.
Well timed. Knew that move's coming in. You can't go for that kill unless you have Sand King. And they're going to smoke up now. Kyle with ultimate, looking for that first chaotic offering. Ooh. Wants to find the big kill on Mushi.
Also saw there the Blood Rage into Nether Blast to take the tower more quickly. Kind of a cool little combo there.
Oh, this could be like a saving grace for Mineski if Ninja Boogie pops this smoke. This is almost a certain kill if they want to drop ultimates.
Limp in the meantime takes down Ice 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 again, so
solo kill.
They're setting up. Mushi is still in a little bit of an awkward spot, but they aren't going to go on it.
They pop the smoke, and yeah, no kills from a smoke where they had Epicenter and Chaotic Offering. They really want to get that Luna, but Ninja Boogie, fantastic defensive positioning, keeps his carry alive. When you're farming those neutrals there, you're on the low ground. You can easily get a wraparound and catch people by surprise. But Mushi's still in a bit of trouble here.
Yeah, Moose coming in. They do have a TP behind though. Timbersaw is here. Ninja Boogie thinks that they're safe. They're moving forward onto Z-Freak. Kyle is here as well. Are they walking into a bit of a trap? Only 3 members of Complexity are there. They can't think about dropping it. They decide to drop it. Go forward onto Ice Ice Ice. The rupture onto Mushi. He's going to try and TP out. Can they get the Burrow Strike in time? No. It was on cooldown. So they drop down both the rupture and the Chaotic Offering, and they don't find a kill.
Yeah. Limp's not there, so the tower may still go down, but Ice 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 can defend this one. He knows his big ultimate's already used, but gets out of the silence.
Walking away. Jabs is here as well, and well, Winter's Curse down. They're not dealing a ton of damage to him. Just keep him alive so that way Z-Freak doesn't get brought down, but honestly, he might end up falling anyways. Jabs chasing down Chessie. On the other side, Necro is there. Complexity again, just being pulled apart.
Big ultimates use and no kills. That's kind of what you mentioned there. Mushi able to TP out and then instantly back to farming. He's got a free lane. This is kind of what we saw last game. You get that, you get away from the fighting as the one position player after having a rough start, and suddenly you catch up very quickly. He's still got those ancient stacks waiting for him as well later on. So Mushi will be maxing out the Moonglaves by level 10, I imagine, or possibly. I mean, I think it's better than even getting your talent in theory. That final level of Moonglaves gives you 6 bounces from the 3 previously.
Well, and I'm thinking about the more and more what you said at the start of this game, that you counter out the Ice 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 Timbersaw. He's died over and over again, but Mushi's really the carry here.
Yeah, and they even with the way they laned it and played, they kept chasing Ice 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 out of top lane. Limp rotated very early to fully Ice Ice Ice. They killed him a couple of times. They zoned him away from any farm. Ice 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 is very poor this game, but ultimately, yeah, Mushi is farming pretty well. Not the top of the net worth by any means, but he can get there with his Mask of Madness. He is going to be a big problem if Complexity can't continue to take towers and objectives. That's really the key thing for them with their draft. Even without ultimates, they're still taking towers. They need to do this and try and steam whenever they can.
Limp on the Pugna is really going to be that one that'll happen. Kyle heading back up again. It's Necro and the Timbersaw are moving towards them. Pugna still here. This could get a little bit testy for Ice 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 if he's not careful.
Probably not going to force this one. Cole do have vision of the ancient stack with their ward, and they don't see the stack themselves, but they see where Luna's going to be positioned to farm it, so not going to be easy to take that one uncontested.
Well, Dazzle trying to keep the lanes pressured out. Limp is still showing down here bottom with a couple of allies nearby. They don't have the Wyvern with them, but more than enough to keep Limp safe while pushing the tower continually.
Yeah, Wyvern just seems to want to farm right now. The levels on the Wyvern are going to make a big difference. You really want to try and get that level 15 damage talent with this build as well. You want to max out Arctic Burn as early as possible. Definitely the greediest style of Wyvern where he hasn't had the best start, but he's going to make sure he gets some catch-up farm.
Yeah, and I guess that is something else to think about. How does the Wyvern later on match up against the Luna? Like, it's not going to be a one-for-one battle, but it is a good bit of damage out there.
It's, yeah, you outrange her fantastically. Freak didn't go for the TP.
Oh, trying to stay alive. Timbersaw chasing. Going to be able to dodge away from that chakram, but still a lot of, not out of the woods yet by any means, as Z-Freak going to get ran down and finally killed off. Bottom lane.
That's a rare Z-Freak mistake.
Limp is going to go there now and trying to bring down the Necro, but they have the Grave, and Snowball is going to chase them far. They might be able to find this kill onto Jabs here, trying to shards himself over in the trees, but wasn't quite on the mark. And
he knows he's dead. Jab. Guys?
That's pretty great.
Yeah, the full staff against Snowball, very, very useful item.
16 minutes in, 2,000 gold lead right now for Complexity.
Yep.
The pace of the game, who do you feel like this favors more?
It's still favoring Cole for sure. They're putting enough pressure that Mushi can't get too out of control. He's not able to farm the Ancient stack. He's not really able to find too many safe lanes to farm. Uh-oh.
Burrow through, they hold on to the rock for the moment, finally dropping it, ensuring that they're going to not find the kill.
Okay, doesn't get it.
Oh, God. What a hero.
What a hero indeed. I'm surprised he's not going for staff. I feel like that is a mid lane rupture. Jesse will force Mushi back to the fountain. Those ruptures, even though you don't get kills, are often worth it. You haven't used rupture in like 5-10 minutes. You're probably just thinking, let's just send this carry back to base. Jesse's now going to actually try and steal the Ancient stack as well.
Ooh.
I think this is also something Mineski maybe realized after a while, like, hey, we stacked this Ancients, but Cole have taken over this part of the map. Good decision by Cole to actually go and farm this now. Very difficult to... Oh, maybe not difficult to contest when Rock's down. If Mineski can get there soon, but...
the Fatal Bonds and actually having the Golem themselves to get a little bit of that damage out as well.
They won't fully commit to it knowing that the Rock is down. They leave a couple behind.
All right, meanwhile Mineski making their own smoke rotation, maybe thinking about going up top to take down that Winter Wyvern.
Yeah, it seems like they just want to keep farming off the Z-Freak a bit. This isn't the biggest deal for Cole. It is a hero they want to get some farm and levels, but at the same time, it's not that crazy core hero. They're pinging him. They seem to know where he is.
Phase boots. He does have a Winter's Curse that you can throw out here if they want.
Oh.
And TP not going to... Is he really going to be able to get out? Okay, no. They turn and they take him down.
Yeah, Nana was slow on the Reaper there. Should not have let the Winter's Curse get cast, but he just slightly mistimed it. Used the Death Pulse first. Maybe should have just gone for the ulti. But
mid lane Mushi.
Here's the... Oh, no blink on Mu, but he's got drum.
Moving forward, not
Mushi with the Mask of Madness out.
Wow.
That map sense.
That was crazy.
How does he know? Just gets the hell out of there. Moose probably like, how does that even happen?
And maybe one of those moments where you would have liked the Blink Dagger, but I think that they do really like the drums, you know, the auras, making sure that they can actually fight and stuff.
It's surprising he's not going for it after the drums. He's got a 4-star queued up. That may change, but definitely feel like Mu, as their really only initiator this game, should be going for that.
Well, Complexity still a 2,000 gold lead despite the kill advantage into Mineski's favor, just by virtue of all these towers taken around the map.
Very farm Pugna. That's a hero that counters the Necro. We talked about how they put a lot of effort into countering the Timbersaw. Well, they've got a hero that is a good matchup versus Necro, and that's going to be a big problem for Mineski. They've really got to essentially initiate and go on this Pugna in these fights. We may even see something like a gimmicky Aghanim Scepter build on Luna, so you can try drop the Eclipse on Pugna. Problem is then Pugna goes BKB, counters you. So for now, Mushi just going Yasha BKB. You can run at the Pugna, you can drop the Eclipse, try and get in close. Very standard Luna build coming out from Mushi.
I guess how do they want to try and like find the Pugna? Because he can't always kind of just stay in the background, right?
Yeah, it's a tough one. They're going to have to do so through positioning, smoke ganks, wrap around, going from behind. Problem is you overcommit on Pugna, that is a wall of rock being dropped, a Sand King, Burrow Strike, so Cole do have the big teamfight advantage until there's BKBs, because at that point you don't care if Pugna's in the back, you've got BKBs, he doesn't do damage. So those first couple fights where Mineski have BKBs are going to look very good. As those BKBs fall down, that's when Cole suddenly have their swing back their way. But for now, the advantage is definitely in Cole's favor with their big ultimates, their team fight.
Oh, again.
Ice in trouble, does not have TP.
Yeah, they should be able to run him down most likely with the rest of Complexity moving in. They've got Chessie there, Decrep, Silence. All right, they got a lot of damage.
He got out of that silence with the decrep. Top lane, meanwhile. Oh, it's another kill on Z-Freak.
Now, was that Eclipse use as well? Okay.
Yeah, it's not that bad to use the Eclipse. Mushi hasn't used Eclipse. What? Is that his first all game, probably?
I think so.
I've not seen one myself, so I'm not... When you look at it that way, it's like, is it really bad to use an Eclipse there?
All right, a nice little combo here together in the mid lane as well. The Epicenter and the Blood Right used, and they find the kill onto the Necro. And Complexity really starting to look now.
Absolutely. It feels like Mineski really lacking a force staff. Necro would have benefited a lot from one this game, I feel. Just being able to get out of the silence to push yourself away from the life room. I'm very surprised to see 0 force staffs on them, and Cole have done a great job taking advantage of that. They're just chasing Mineski around the map. Haven't spent much time top. It feels like they're finally kind of sick of Mineski chain killing this Winter Wyvern in the top lane. They're going to send up Moo, send up Kyle, see what they can find, but both teams playing keep away from one another. More importantly, Mineski playing keep away from Cole. They're like, well, we can't team fight, let's go the other side of the map. Let's avoid them, let's kill this solo Wyvern, and then just try and give up as fewer kills as possible. But Cole have done a good job at least getting a few picks here and there, and the picks they're getting are the bigger ones. They're the cores. Necro's died 4 times this game. He's almost half the deaths of this game, and the Timber's the other half. He's got 4 deaths as well.
Yeah, and I guess that the eventual conclusion of this is going to be taking down towers and objectives as well. Mushi, again, maybe going to get found out in the bottom lane as they have been able to go onto him, and Life Drain, he does not live long at all.
Yeah. It's a game of pickoffs for Cole. They have a draft that wants to team fight, wants to force the issue, but when your opponent's just playing the map, oh, he breaks the boots of travel. Ice at top.
Now, maybe going to be able to take down Moo here. They got the Walrus Punch, good bit of damage. Are they going to go for the finish? Misses the chains. And Moo maybe just going to end up walking away. All right, that was really close.
Moo almost lost his item there. I don't know about that. I think it was probably just a branch, to be honest, but yeah, he is holding one. We didn't actually see what it was mid lane. Meanwhile, that is not a Reaper that's going to get a kill.
Yeah, I don't know if they're going to be able to break that TP, though. Unfortunately, Z-Freak out of range.
Close. Yeah, Chessie with Radiance now, Blade Mail. Very strong build from him. Probably see the BKB next is normally the typical follow-up. And it is still, yeah, definitely Cole-favored game. The limp Pugna is a complete menace right now, and Chessie has managed to just maintain a really good level of farm, so we'll see what Mineski can do with the BKB, but even with a BKB on Luna, still very tough for them to take fights. It really feels like Mineski just trying to take advantage of the entire map too. They are splitting Cole up, but the problem is Cole have actually done a good job of finding kills when they're pulled apart. The split push from Mineski has not completely been unmatched by Cole.
Yeah, they kind of have awkward heroes for it, in a sense. Like, you know, you've got this Luna, and I don't know. I feel like they always end up looking best when they're sort of trying to fight, but in this type of game, it's just Cole outmatching them a little bit.
Yeah. Definitely, we saw in game 1 where Mineski were able to win the lanes. They could actually find a Cole, but the strategy for game 1, even this game, is they have these heroes that can split push, that can push out lanes. The Timbersaw being the big one. They probably looked at Cole's replay, saw they're doing a lot of these like pushing type mid-game drafts. We need heroes that can split push, that can wave clear, and Timbersaw, Ice, a classic hero that does just that. Luna very good at it. Necro not amazing at it, but capable of it. So has been a key part of Mineski's game plan has just been to not let Complexity push down one lane, force them back constantly.
And likewise, Complexity making sure that they keep these lanes pushed out constantly so that they're not giving away free objectives when they're going for it. As Ice.
He needs to TP before the... Oh, okay, they're not going to go for the kill. The Burrow Strike is there, but I think Cole decide they can't chase him through trees. He's going to break trees, timber chain away.
They also see that rotation,
yeah,
maybe.
This is a big rotation.
And Chessie, he is going to be found for the moment. They throw out a rupture, maybe the beginnings of a battle. They turn it back around though, able to take down that Chessie Bloodseeker right at the start. BKB Disable is going to be able to take out the Luna for the moment. And I think that Mineski now, but can they actually find this kill? Can they make it happen? The rock is down onto 3. The follow-up Blood Right. Is it going to be enough damage? They're so freaking low. Chessie is going to get a ton of movement speed. Just snowballing away. Can they kill any other of these heroes though? No. Ninja Boogie is going to be the only other casualty it looks like. Chessie finally brings him down, but a big win there for Complexity.
Yeah. You have to buy back on the Bloodseeker there, but they recognize that once Mushi's BKB wore off, they can take that fight. It was a smart idea from Mineski. Smoke up around the BKB, go for the bigger kills. They keep killing off this Wyvern. They haven't really gone for a big fight, killing some like Bloodseeker, and it initially pays off. But once Chessie buys back, Mineski are committed. They're over-committed, in fact. They can't get out of there. The Winter's Curse locks the Luna in, and Cole make a very smart play there. The buyback on Chessie was the perfect call.
And I think that part of it too is that ward over by the Radiant Shrine up there in the top lane. They might have spotted a smoke that was coming out, and that's why you saw the rest of Complexity back instead of chasing for the Timber.
It looked like even the Bloodseeker knew it was coming. He just couldn't get out in time.
Right.
Didn't have his BKB yet, so didn't have that easy escape to work with as well, but we'll be working on that now.
Well, some more momentum into the favor of Complexity, but they've been also very judicious about making sure they don't overcommit for taking objectives. Like they, off of that big win, they only end up taking the tier 2 tower, and now maybe trying to set up for a Roche take as well.
Yeah, they can't really go in for anything kind of a high ground push just yet. Cole, much like Mineski, BKB reliant. You want to make sure that that Timber Soul can't kill you. The Necro ultimate is not going to be a big threat as well, so we'll see both teams very much playing around these BKBs. Jack from this Tusk is going to be a big, crucial playmaker as well, whether he can snowball save people. If someone gets ruptured, they're about to get silenced, for example, you want to make sure you can get that snowball on them so they don't get focused down. Luna is got a Lincoln's queued up. Is he able to block, I mean, some big spells to block this game, the Winter's Curse, the Rupture, of course, both those spells being used on Luna last fight.
Look at Z-Freak, how quick he moves right there at the phase boots and everything else, and well, they do have Limp in the area as well. A lot of the rest of Mineski is moving in, and now it looks like
his ultimate.
Z-Freak is going to be the one that gets found and caught, killed.
Okay. Not the best Eclipse, but at the same time, Mineski will go back to the game plan as before, which is split push, avoid fights. Use an Eclipse like that, they do hold on to the BKB. I'll be surprised if they go for a push here. Even with BKB, I feel like this is a weakened Mineski side, not having Eclipse. And yeah, Mushi's TPing back home.
The creep wave was very far away anyways, as that's the one nice part about Complexity.
Mineski are very much playing for the late game. An Eclipse like that is not, a bad Eclipse is not a particularly amazing one, but it will hopefully just give them a kill in time to reset. Problem is, Cole are charging at them. They are looking for kills here. Jabs needs to TP out. It's 1 second away, and unfortunately it was in his backpack, but he misses. Oh! Well, guess is wrong. He may still die. No.
Somehow able to live it.
Yeah.
So freaking low, but
Mood didn't have vision. He had to go for the blind guess. It was a almost perfect guess. He just assumes Tusk is already TPing, so he has to go for it to cancel the TP. Little did he know, Jabs had to wait for the backpack.
Yeah. It was a good, definitely a good effort. And you mentioned this Mushi going back for the Lincoln Sphere. You talk about the late game potential from Mineski. What's that point there they get to where eventually they can sort of take the advantage over Complexity?
It's quite a lot of items.
Okay.
I mean, for them, we've got 3 cores that are all going to scale with items. Necro, Luna, Timbersaw. Even the support like Jabs is getting some good farm. The Lotus Orb will be very useful. I mean, Cole's similar thing, but perhaps a bit less so with the Sand King as a core. The Bloodseeker and Pugna are pretty scary. But once they get after the BKBs, they perhaps don't scale as well as heroes like Luna does. So we'll see how things pan out there. Mid lane, Nana in trouble. He's spotted. He's right under a ward.
Oh, this is such a big kill if they can manage to find it cleanly. And they do also have Grave available to keep him alive a little bit longer, but will it be enough?
Go for a TP, doesn't do so.
Yeah, they've got the Centaur right there to stomp, and well, he is eventually brought down, and maybe more as well. Ninja Boogie going to be caught. Well, a little bit unfortunate there, and 2 kills might open the path for Roche.
Be a nice idea. They're going to get an Aegis while they have BKBs, so that possibly even sets them up for a potential high ground play. Oh, Ice thinks they're roaching. Little does he know they're actually right on top of him.
Wow, good decision for him to back out there.
Yeah, that was very, very close there. He made the not so bold assumption they were roaching, which was maybe the initial idea, but Cole actually hung around a bit longer.
That ward there in the middle lane, just keeping eyes over everything and allowed them to set up for the kill. Initially onto the Necro, but also look to find that one on the Timbersaw afterwards. It does feel like Mineski maybe need to get like a gem or something. Or the vision has always been really good for complexity.
Yeah. They don't have a good gem carrier right now. Dazzle's just too squishy. Dazzle doesn't move out the map. Tusk is probably the best, but he's also in a range hero. You can't scout wards easily on cliffs. But yeah, this sentry in mid has narrowly missed 2 observer wards. Dire's vision is just amazing right now. It's found them a lot of pickoffs, and Cole have been doing everything right. The itemization, the warding, finding these kills, and they're definitely putting a ton of pressure onto Mineski, who still have ways into this game. They're going to have, well, back into this game, they're going to have the Lincoln soon on Mushi. If he can block a big Winter's Curse, a Rupture, that could be a difference maker.
And it looked like Kyle there missed a couple of sentries as well. The ward was kind of in an awkward place that spotted out the Wyvern, so no big deal there at all. As again, do you expect Complexity to try and push for high ground with this Aegis?
It's probably relying on getting a pickoff at this point. The ability to just spam out waves with Timbersaw. Oh, is he freaked off?
Oh, they got him. They get able to catch, and well, maybe that's that pickoff that you were waiting for.
30 seconds with the Bloodstone, so they won't get to the high ground with this, but it's still something. I think it's very much like a pick and then see what objectives we can get kind of time.
Okay.
Bloodseeker needs to be careful. Oh, luckily it's nighttime, so they don't have the vision. They tried to get a jump there mid.
Moo was right behind him as well, keeping eyes.
And the Dire ward spots out everything, so again, the Dire vision is just on point. 4 Radiant sentries litter their jungle, and not a single one has been able to de-ward these 2 Dire wards, so fantastic warding coming out from Kyle.
Moo is right underneath one right now. We'll realize that there's creeps are spotting him. See if they're able to catch both the Observer and the Sentry just a little while, but everything coming up Complexity right now, and I mean, we talk about BKBs coming online for Mineski, them being able to fight. High ground defense, it's still like kind of impossible for Complexity to just slam their head against the wall and take down the towers, but
for sure. Definitely expose yourself going high ground. Even with the BKB Aegis, Warlock's a hero that, as good as his ultimate is for team fighting and for defending, it's not the best like for pushing. You don't drop it to hit buildings. You don't. It's when you're pushing, it's hard to actually get a good chaos offering off. You may be able to use it to initiate on like a single hero to carry in front, but you're rarely going to get a good like 3-4 man rock into Fatal Bond. So same with the Winter's Curse. Very hard spell to use when you're pushing. Good to use when you're defending against a push, but their supports are not really designed to push. Perhaps, I mean, the Wyvern with the range and the plus damage can do okay, but we'll see how well Cole can siege this one. This is really the test.
Blood Rage, Nether Blast. It's really hard to deal with all of that damage coming out. The ward is now down as well. Blade mailed up. They've got the center there. My God, the damage on the jabs. They take down the tier 3 tower like it's nothing. And maybe going to be able to do a bit more as well. Nether Blast still standing there. This could be a big silence that comes through. Snowball actually to keep him back. Limp is going to be able to pull one out of position. The Reaper Scythe out, but not doing enough damage to take down Chessie. He's going to as well be Cold Embrace, and now the Warlock ulti comes down. Mineski needing to run away. Timbersaw's BKB is up as well, but they're going to be able to catch this Necrophos and most likely take him down as well, as the Grave is going to wear out, and they find the kill. No buyback, no Tusk, no Necro, no Rax.
And no BKB Luna. Luna's out of there, has no ultimate as well. This is going to be multiple lanes. This could just be the game here. A great team fight from Cole. They showed how it can be done even with their lineup. Bloodseeker just goes on the high ground. Mineski threw way too much of that BKB Bloodseeker. He tanks a Reaper. He tanks, well, the creep wave tanked an Eclipse. Mushi ran in at a kind of inopportune time. Right as the creep wave rocked up, he runs in with an Eclipse, and there were like 6 creeps around helping tank it, so it was perhaps not the best time to go in. Needed one of his teammates, the Timbersaw, Necro, whoever, to actually clear that wave before he could go in. But I think also Mineski felt pressure. It's like, this Pugna is just blasting away our tower. We got to do something or we're just going to lose our racks. So there was definitely an element of urgency for them, and that led to some misplays on the high ground defense.
Well, Complexity take down 2 lanes of barracks. They take down the shrine as well, and now a huge injection of gold. 14,000 net worth lead for Complexity. That is several items.
And 2 lanes of racks and a team fight 1 is a lot of gold. And Chess will get Defusal, wanting to just be able to go in that Necro, purge off the Ghost Shroud, purge the Yules, which is actually pretty nice. We're seeing this Necro, when he gets Ruptured plus Blood Righted, he'll just Yules himself to buy some time and also dodge the silence. Well, Defusal, not going to be possible anymore. See Mushi go back for the Manta again. You want to get out of these silences and things. Not a bad idea.
Mushi, stay in the trees. Don't get in there. Well, actually, do they just start to turn and fight? Burrow getting him away. BKB down, and Mineski,
yeah,
leg on their face.
Force Up's a good item. And an item Mineski have not bought.
Oh god, they need to get out of here now, actually. The rest of Complexity is showing up. They want to battle. They want to fight. They have a Winter's Curse available to try and turn this all back around, but they might not even the snowball is out now, catching on the lip. They throw out the Winter's Curse, going to be able to basically kite that BKB the entire duration, kill off 1. Maybe going to be able to find more. There's the Rupture. It is all falling apart, but they were able to take down the Sand King at the very least. It's a, well, small victory as Mineski lose 3 other cores. Oh, lordy, lordy.
Yeah, Blood Rage Pugna is pretty damn disgusting, I'm going to say. The ability, the buildings is one thing, but how fast he kills heroes is just absurd. With Decrep, Veil, Aether Lens, his damage output is just unparalleled. Mushi, force back. And this is not looking good for Mineski. They have no buybacks. This is going to be Mega Creeps, and I imagine we'll see Mushi try run in for one last fight, but this is going to be game over.
Now, they throw out the Eclipse. He is, nope, he's gone. GG is called. And we are going to a game number 3. Going the distance. Parker, talk to me a little bit about the dynamic of these. It felt like that one, it's basically to be decided by the draft each time.
Yeah, I think Cole were forced to play Mineski's game, but they played it very well. Obviously, they had the heroes, they had the draft to do it. They won.
What have we here? A gift from the Tempest of Battle. Caged.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Sanaba.
Denied.
Many thanks. Annihilation! Dismount from life.
The prize is mine.
My thanks.
That should help. A gift from the tempest of battle.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
I'll do that.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack. Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
What have we here?
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack. Dire's top tower is under attack. Dire's structures are fortified. Dire's middle tower is under attack. Radiant's bottom tower is under attack. Dire's middle tower is under attack. Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Yes.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Double damage.
The prize is mine.
Radiant's top tower is under attack. Dire's middle tower is under attack. Radiant's bottom tower is under attack. Dire's middle tower has fallen. Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Anti-venom.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack. Dire's structures are fortified. Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
Invisibility.
You as abrasive as sand.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
I reach the end.
Dire's middle tower is under attack. Radiant's top tower is under attack. Radiant structures are fortified.
Radiant team banned.
Dire team banned.
Why is it okay to fourth pick your mid?
Because I think for the most part, you get to see, if you see the two supports, it becomes a lot easier. If neither of the supports counter you, it's really nice. If you see their offlaner and he's not a problem either, like that's the thing about Puck, right? Is he can't really pressure that Timber very much when Timber gets her feeling like that. But I do think that the ban should stay the same.
Well, so far they are. Mineski is taking a while to think. No, it's gonna stay the same. Never mind. If complexity goes for the Veno once more, then that also stays the same. And it is. All right.
You know what's funny though? Last game they banned the Veno first and then the Lich.
Yeah. But why is that a thing?
I don't know.
I mean, that's not. We can't read. This hero is undefeated in starter so far.
All right, congratulations, man.
Congratulations, you made it to the grand final.
You remember there was that time where Earthspirit, even though he was broken, it had like a 36% win rate in a tournament, and everyone's like, man, that hero sucks.
Yeah.
That killed me.
People need to stop talking about how strong Earthspirit is. It has X win rate.
It's like, if you first pick that hero every game, like every team is first picking it, some of the weaker teams are going to lose with it, and...
And the strong teams are either just going to have a plan against it.
True, they're all fools.
I was gonna suggest Earthspirit because it goes back to the mid matchup. I feel like as a 4 position, Earthspirit's probably one of the better ones to pressure that on either side.
Yeah.
So I thought maybe that would be a good pickup. But
It's more damage than what they had before too. But the downside is this is gonna happen to you. You're gonna get Nature's Profited because you're not picking Night Stalker or Tusk.
Nature's Prophet and Spirit Breaker. We've seen them do it before. Was it actually that combination for them? They have the Nature's Prophet in the 4 position.
They've played it everywhere.
Why can't they pick Night Stalker with the double 4s that we've been seeing?
Yeah, that's the thing. You know, keep going for it, guys. I'm into that.
Not really failed yet. But what's the downside of picking 2 4s rather than 4 and a 5?
You don't really have a lane support. For the most part, you need to pick really independent cores then that don't need your help in lane.
Well, the cores that need help have not really been doing well too great. Like, we've not seen Juggernaut at all this tournament. We just saw Luna lose. Sure, Mineski plays anti-mage and is really successful at it.
That's a good pick.
Sand King?
Yeah, because Sand King very good against NP. And they had a lot of success with it last game. Well, don't you just take like Rubik or something? Wrong game?
Rubik versus Sand.
Yeah, but you kind of get crushed though by
You
NP.
don't like nature. Yeah, you hate Nature's Prophet.
That's a cool idea. I like that. NP Sand King.
They're also.
You could take Bat, like straight up.
Why?
I think it's really good against both. It's either you take your offlaner here or you take your other 4 and you pick Night Stalker again, I guess. I don't know.
Why is it good versus Sand?
What? Bat? Just like, if he's facing you and then you just sticky him twice and he can't turn around to stun away, and then you just flame break him back into you and he dies in 2 seconds.
I thought he was a good counter initiator.
Damn, dude, I saw fire for half a second.
Like instant. Yeah, you thought it was a Bat Rider intro?
They do have a very similar intro, actually.
They do. The wings and the fire really got me.
I've made that mistake before. I recognize the problem here.
I was like, oh.
No, but it's a Jakiro, so what do you think about that?
5 seconds.
You can take this one, Austin.
You don't see it?
Don't look at me.
What? Oh, I think it's just good against NP. It's like one of the few supports that can trade out, and Dual Breath is really nice against the Treants. Because the one thing as a support that you really hate is if you don't have any spammable AoEs against a Nature's Prophet, he just gets to run you over in the lane, and that's like the situation that you want to avoid for the most part, is being a support, just getting right-clicked by Treants and you can't trade back.
But isn't that like, there are plenty of supports that can do that for, well, okay, maybe not plenty, but
Hit me up with those
there's a number of cores.
Yeah, but he also shoves out the lane.
Some supports.
Like you're a 5 position that can easily shove out the lane.
What? But why not like the Wyvern that was picked
The
up
Wyvern?
before? Like that
Wyvern's-
also shoves lanes for you. Really
Wyvern's
well,
alright.
et cetera.
I don't know. He trades okay-ish against NP. Probably you get to siege a little bit better with Jakiro. I think the laning phase might be slightly better too on the boy.
10
You have a more
seconds
spammable
remaining.
disable.
The old breath early on
Very
is really
nice.
strong.
5
Of course, there is
seconds
Arctic Burn, but
remaining.
you don't get your level 2 until half a pull, or if you just sack your, you just soak your XP from your carry, which you don't really want to do. Did they ban Sven?
Nope.
No, it's
Typical Sven
anti-mage
game.
and a lifestealer. Had a complexity in the Mineski ban a Beastmaster, so
Everybody bans Sven when they pick up Furion.
Mm-hmm.
Why did they ban Lifestealer
10
instead?
seconds
Because
remaining.
Complexity, I think, are willing to run this.
5
Maybe they're
seconds
one of the few teams ever that'll
remaining.
run it as a 4-position NP. And then you have a Sven against a 4-position NP, and they can just pick something like Seeker and run circles around you.
Or the fact that they run safe lane Furion means that they also aren't dealing with the
Yeah.
laning phase matchup. There's like 2 different ways that they can dodge the laning matchup. We also
Plus-
saw from the first series, we talked about the potential of Chaos Knight, like maybe baiting out Dusa or something. Fogg was talking about that with us as well earlier.
Yeah.
They seem like really okay if you pick one of those slower carries with the way that Complexity takes the pace of the game.
Paul should take another. Okay.
the Bloodseeker already.
Take another.
It's a very early Bloodseeker. Is that a problem?
No. Because if the enemy team takes Sven or one of the heroes that you think is good, it's like I said, right? In a best of 3, you don't have a lot of time to think, and so you're
10
not sure what hero was the problem or how to
remaining.
counter it, because you only have this minute, and you still have to think about the whole rest of the draft too. So it's not just as
remaining.
simple as saying like, what beats Bloodseeker, guys? Like in your post-game discussion.
I like Weaver here. Weaver's kind of tough for Furion to deal with sometimes, though that would be off-lane Furion versus safe lane Weaver. So I guess it's a little different.
I still think you just take that. Your Mineski.
Weaver probably doesn't give you enough team fight anymore, huh? Because just sees so much clashing in like 15 minutes.
He's okay. You need a really free Weaver game though. Like no stuns.
I mean, that's the thing, right? It's like if he gets some hits, it is a pretty
Tinker.
so far. Oh, the Tinker, the Mineski Tinker has
The
come back.
Tinker.
It's good in this game. It shoves out lanes.
Deals with the Furion, right?
Yeah,
Really
that means
well.
you can pick a 1 position that doesn't shove out lanes.
Some fighting hero,
Yeah, you can just pick some hero that fights. Pretty cool.
which the Lifestealer would have been good for the Spirit
remaining.
setup that they already have.
We did mention that it's going to be a rough mid lane though. If they just drop it as a 4, he's going to visit there
remaining.
often, and there's going to be ganks happening. Is that really where you want to put your Tinker? Because he needs to have a decent start. Or does he?
He's gonna be fine. He's gonna have Earth Spirit helping him out. Earth Spirit Tinker's pretty great combo. Like Earth Spirit almost makes all your mid matchups favorable.
Is there then a way for Complexity to make sure that Earth Spirit is going to be busy on a different lane all the time?
Yeah,
So that he
but
can't help?
they have NP for that. That's the cool part. They do like NP Sanking together off. And you have Bloodseeker who's a very self-sufficient core. But that means like Complexity need a mid hero that does okay against all this. Like thinking of all the heroes, Storm. Although Vici tried that and they got crushed, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Storm,
It's like a hard combination of like the burst damage that Tinker does and the presence of her Spirit in lane.
Puck, DP, Zeus, Pugna. I'd be down for a Pugna.
Silencer.
Well, are you down for a silencer?
That's their 5. So that means they're gonna wait for everything to show first. I don't know, man. I think that Mineski. I was feeling that or Sven in this position.
10
Isn't
seconds
Sven Tinker a little slow
remaining.
for you?
Maybe. Then what do you take? Like
5 seconds remaining.
I'm thinking more about the off lane.
Yeah.
Regardless, you have to show your 1 and your 3 before you show before the enemy picks their 2.
You know, it has been a while, but I have seen Exercise play Jakiro offlane.
Yeah, that could be 2. Maybe he just takes something like Visage. They need more control. They really need more control, which is why I thought they'd pick Bat for a long time. But Bat against Silencer is kind of annoying.
Dire team ban.
Night Stalker.
Core Night Stalker or Core Jakiro? Probably Core Night Stalker.
You think so?
I kind of think they need.
Like, would you say Ice would play Night Stalker then?
I guess.
I think it's an offlane Jakiro.
5 seconds.
Shiver, you were right. You outthought us. And maybe you outthought complexity.
No, I'm sure that they are prepared. I mean, if I can think of something like that, then they can too. That's how I. That's how I think.
But no, give yourself more credit than that. It was a cool idea.
The time they ran it, by the way, I say it was a while ago. It was 2015.
We just weren't willing to say NS because NS is good against what's that hero called? The NP. But it kind of works both ways. So what does Cole take here then?
Well, they don't take the Pugna because that got banned. You already mentioned that would have been a nice one.
Still okay with DP.
Are we convinced it's a limp hero that's last picked for complexity?
10 seconds
like
remaining.
10% sure.
10% is not a lot, Will. I need more than that.
You need more?
Yeah.
How much more than that do you need?
We need to be 60% on certain on something that complexity needs.
All right, sure. I'll ramp it up. 60%.
No,
just arbitrarily, you're gonna believe it more.
There's still
Yes,
this Sven.
it finally happens.
It happens. This Sven.
Oh,
They
I
just
need you to pick
probably
it like 4 earlier to make me look really good and not sweat this. But it does come.
It is there.
It's like every region's counter to the Nature's Prophet. It's okay-ish against the Bloodseeker, all these heroes.
You already said that if you pick a Sven against the Nature's Prophet, then Bloodseeker is gonna get picked by complexity and he's just gonna run at Sven.
That's why Bloodseeker was such a cool pick by Cole, and that's why Mineski wasn't sure. Oh, I love these mind games and counter mind games. Dota drafting is the best thing ever.
Yeah, you're not very happy if you're Sven versus Bloodseeker for the most part.
But
you can still play around it because you're an initiating force.
So then, what do you take? Do you take the Death Prophet? Do you take?
You've got a lot of single target bursts.
You can still
Tinker
go for
and
Puck.
Sven.
Or is there too much disable for Puck?
I'd be aight with Puck. I'd be okay with Puck. I'd be okay with DP.
Oh, of course,
I forgot about that guy. That guy's been banned out in previous series, previous games.
Wait, is that that's Core Sand King and Nature's Prophet, or is it Core?
Or it could be mid Bloodseeker, Dayflame Chen.
Limp picked
Olympic Silencer.
Limp picked
so they're running it against the.
Oh, this is wild.
Whew.
Cool strategies.
So, we've decided that it's gonna be all about the draft. Who won this draft?
I'm gonna go with complexity here, just because I think like this whole entire time they've been okay with the slower pace. If enemy team takes like sort of those later farming cores, and I think Tinker, Sven, it works in a way in that Tinker does defend your towers and draw out the game for you. But I think complexity is gonna be happy with the game.
Agree?
Yes.
All right. Well, we got the words in. Complexity is the favorite here on the panel, but let's see if Mineski can do something about that and force their way into the grand finals. It is over to Lyrical and Gods.
Thank you very much, Shiver. I am so excited for this game. It's actually the first time I see a game go to the full best of 3. We haven't had a lot of those so far, but Gods, it's a Core Silencer, the last pick Chen. Mineski, they take the Tinker in the 3rd pick. You were kind of a little bit concerned about that. Talk to me about the draft and what your thoughts were going into this.
Felt like a lot of faith in Nanoska. That's the idea there. They probably knew going into this game that they wanted to turn this into a Tinker game. It's won them games before in this tournament, in the past, one of Nano's best. Cole, though, not going for any kind of like let's hard counter Tinker, but they've still got heroes that can put a lot of pressure on him. I think overall Cole's draft is very well rounded. It's what we've seen them play a lot of and have great success with. The big question for me that's going to kind of determine at least like potentially the game, or at least the early to mid game, is how well can Tinker do? Is he going to get roamed on?
And Kyle actually playing on the Sand King is already going to get hit a little bit, and well, they're going to come out battling and fighting very early on. Kyle getting body blocked with the rocket. Hold up, level 1 from downtown. They find the kill, and Moo also in trouble. Complexity getting ran out at the start. They want more. They're going after Limp. Can they even find more here? Complexity.
No stun from Mushi. He hasn't got any clarity, Mango.
Oh man, Mineski came out of the gate swinging. Yeah, I'm excited.
That actually something I didn't really register at the end of the draft is, yeah, Kyle on the Sand King. He has played these like melee initiators in the form of the Earthshaker. I haven't seen his Sand King. I may have had it here or there, but not something I've seen, and I feel like it's not a hero that's going to suit his playstyle. The Shaker, the Warlock, these are good. He sits back, uses his spells, doesn't have to get right up and close. This could be something a bit dangerous for him when he has to be a lot more aggressive on this. Zab's going for the roll, wants this rune.
Be able to find it. Can he get there? No, not quite there.
Still some good harass. Anything to secure this mid lane. Talked about how well the Tinker can do, and he gets a first blood. Level 1 heat-seeking missiles. Not the best for the lane. You want to have the laser, but if you get a first blood out of it, you're happy with that. Doesn't have to worry about his courier being sniped. Already has the salve couriered out. Really great place for Tinker to be with a first blood.
And he's going to need to be that force in this one. Starting off, like you said, gain an early good start to it. Z-Freak is going to move over here. Where do you expect to see this Chen moving around to in this game? As some body blocks onto ice, but couldn't really amount to much unless they're able to have a good creep here. And
it's a Centaur, but Burrow Strike into Centaur stun could be some good damage.
Yeah.
Poor man's shield, he will survive. Don't see this being a kill.
Burrow, they do have the long duration stun. Good bit of damage. They can maybe go for some more body blocks. Almost fully wrapped around on, but like you said, the poor man's shield just a bit too much to break through.
Yeah, I was talking to Winter. I was like, when do you get poor man's shield in the offlane? He's like, if you're worried about dying at level 1, you want poor man's shield. If you think you're gonna not die, it's much better to get extra regen, the salve, the mango, so you can go into the soul ring. But this is a prime example of where that poor man's shield pays off. The kill potential at level 1. And Ice with the poor man's shield does survive.
Well, we need to talk at least a little bit about this. It's a silencer played in the core role, not something that's been around all that often. How do you feel like that matchup works out in the mid lane against Tinker?
It's going to be pretty even, slightly Tinker favored with the laser mischance. Tinker should farm very well, should have an edge. Rotations is the big thing. Silencer with more kill potential. Not to mention the Chen rotations are very dangerous. Earth Spirit can roll in. But unless Tinker wants to go for like a max laser missile build, he should be not finding kills all too easily.
Yeah, saw there that rotation, not really bear fruit. We'll be able to push Nana at least back for the moment. Then the other lane that we haven't really talked about a ton, Moo versus the Sven. We talked about a lot in the draft, the potential for a Sven against Nature's Prophet.
Yep.
A good counter.
It is. I think it was something Cole were okay with because they have the Bloodseeker. The lane is going to go very well for the Sven. It's a hero that isn't bothered at all by the trees. He even goes for the poor man's shield. Mid lane Nana could be in some trouble here.
Slowed down. They have the stomp a little bit off the mark though, and well, actually still able to find the kill. I was wondering if maybe he just went top there, he would have been fine.
He went bottom to juke the Centaur stun, but then he tried to run back top and he got body blocked by the Centaur. So while he dodged the stun, he ended up blocking himself a bit. Tried to go back north with the Tango, but yeah, couldn't get through. So nice little gank there, and this is the kill potential I talked about. This is where Silencer, while he's not going to win the straight up 1v1 in terms of CSing, he can get those kills, and that's exactly what he's found to start things off. You don't want to see Silencer gain too many. Those +2s are going to add up over time.
So already at the beginning, relatively even across the lanes, 2-1. The roaming potential from the Earth Spirit is something that also is something to be watching out for as he's able to find Limp, the stun to follow. Just a little bit outside of range to find that laser.
Yeah, he didn't run forward for it. Wouldn't have gotten the kill with it. He could have even leveled up 2 points in missiles. It still wouldn't have been enough. So I think Nana just said, I'm going to keep getting my creeps. Thanks for the harass. I'm out of here. But I'm not wasting my mana, basically.
Yeah.
So Limp salves up, has raindrops now. So definitely really not much kill potential at all for Nana here. He's almost not really worth getting that second point in heat-seeking missiles. Better to start leveling the march. Just
they have to move and they're able to chase him down inside the career. Is he really looking for it? Wow, they didn't.
He was not close. Nope. In that round. is maybe if you just gone for the liquid fire instead, would have been able to get a right click off, but still okay. Sven free farming. A kill would have been nice for sure for Mineski, but problem is now Moo just TP's right back in.
4 minutes. Limp is just getting surrounded on right now, but with the Chen coming in as well, they might be able to find a return kill here. They're even summoning the Cyclone, and Kyle with the burrow. They have enough damage, they find a return kill.
Yeah, it looks like Tinker did spend his money and buy his boots before he died, so doesn't lose any money out of that. Doesn't lose any int because Silencer died, so I'd say slight win for Mineski there, but not the biggest one. Pretty even trade all in all. Overall, Cole are having a better laning stage though. Now that we're all in bottom.
Oh, able to sprout the Mushi Sven for a minute, and that actually gives them a little bit of separation. You know, you'd mentioned when we were getting ready to come down here that you felt like the winner of this game was going to be the team that went out and battled more. Do you still feel like that's kind of the case in this one?
A little bit. I think we've seen both teams willing to go for a lot of early movements, rotation. We've seen Earth Spirit rolling mid, doing it multiple times bottom. Kyle's been very active on the Sand King, continuing to do so here, looking for Ice.
Duking in the trees. I'm not exactly sure what that was, but that's great.
Yeah, he knows if he gets stunned, he can just TP out, so it's it's not really a kill you can get. He's even gonna walk past him again. And just playing games a little bit. Typical Ice stuff. Defrick getting some good levels on the Chen. See where he looks to go. Normally, we've seen like the Midas Axe build be the popular one, going for that mid-game push. Definitely something with the Nature's Prophet Bloodseeker that can be strong. Again, bottom lane. Oh, this time they get the kill.
Very well done.
Yeah. The big struggle there is Mushi's gone for this regen build. Limp.
Ooh, roll. Able to get caught. Double burrow. They're going to be slowed coming out of this. Jab's taking the damage from the tower, but we'll be able to switch aggro over on Ice. And Kyle just going to be forced into going for the Sandstorm. And now Moon in trouble as well. Nana's going to end up being brought down. Can he get denied to the troops? No. Actually, no, he does. Excuse me. All right, well played.
Doesn't get a chance to spend any money before dying. Does have the Soaring queued up, but interesting little trade again. Not really heavily favoring either team. Mineski do lose 2. One is to the neutrals though. Still a bit of a wait for the Tinker to respawn. Again, bottom lane Moo, he's getting constantly pressured. Ice has had such an active nighttime.
He is moving around all over the place. Moo's going to get ran at here. He is going to be able to have the shrine staying alive for the moment.
He's like, Mushi, where you at, bro?
And there's also going to be the trees leveled out. He's in trouble. He's going to be blocked in, but doesn't look like he's going to be brought down.
He has a shrine to fall back on. Not sure if Nana wants to use it. It is nighttime. Oh, Jabs goes down. Yeah, Ice is going to use the shrine. Probably a good call. Try and get a kill with this last minute of nighttime. But he's on top of a dire ward, so they know he's coming.
Well, watching for that, and you can see that they're playing very safe down there in the bottom lane.
Mushi's build has been interesting. I mean, he is a player known for some very interesting builds that are a bit unorthodox. He went for the Helm before the boots, which meant getting kills was harder. Didn't have a Mango, didn't have any mana regen, which meant he hasn't really had the opportunity to use Stormhammer very much in lane.
What have we here?
Normally you see at least like one clarity on this Sven.
Ice. Finding Z-Freak here, and well, he's going to try and give a little bit of the amp damage. Kyle finds a Burrow Strike, and Creep's doing some damage. Moo there as well, able to hit him, but no way to break that. Oh wait, Centaurs come in, they find the TP cancel. Z-Freak from the grave, able to get a little retribution.
Yeah, that was a clutch play. Ice trying to make the most out of that last little bit of nighttime. 3 kills during night, definitely an effective night phase for him, and it's what you want to see out of your Night Stalker. Even when you're playing the off lane, you want to almost always leave that lane, go mid, go to your safe lane, find some kills. Does free up Chessie to free farm. He's sitting on 57 CS, top of the CS charts, top of the net worth. A lot of the Sven's farm has come from the Treants.
So as far as night times go, he said that he's very active, able to get a lot done. Now that it's transitioned to day, how do you see the next couple minutes working out for both teams?
Should be really good for Cole. They're going to make moves. Kyle's already kind of playing aggressively. He is by himself, so he can't do a whole lot with this, but looking to stop some of Nana's jungle farming, it seems. The Centaurs from Chen.
Well, they're in there, dealing some damage. The Burrow Strike onto 2. Is he really going to find this? Global comes out. They're bringing in Moo. Nowhere left to go. They take the kill onto the Tinker.
Z-Freak, what a god. That was some insane positioning from his Centaurs. double stun chain perfectly to get Kyle in there, and then the TP from Crawford to finish it off. That's such a big kill. This Tinker item timing is the crucial deciding factor for Mineski this game. Getting the boots to travel up at a decent time, and then the Blink Dagger.
Roll forward, they find Z-Freak, but the tower is already gone, and now the Burrow Strike onto the Night Stalker. Damage a little bit split up here. Complexity kind of spread. Z-Freak getting ran at. He has some creeps to try and body block Mushi, but it's still going to be a kill onto Z-Freak. That should be the extent of it, though, as they get the deny on the Centaur as well.
Yeah. Big little play. Cole are definitely the ones setting the tempo. They're the ones applying a lot more pressure, moving around the map, and they're doing so with just 4 heroes. Chessie's been allowed to just free farm the top lane, and he's done so while taking the tower. So they created tons of space for him. Mushi's been under a bit of pressure, has farmed okay. Going for a fast armlet build of all things, something we haven't seen on Sven in, I feel like, some time, at least not by most players who are playing this hero. So he's freed up the lane, though, giving Ninja Boogie some levels on the Jakiro. Tinker, Sven just kind of sharing the jungle and giving supports some much-needed farm and experience. A hero like Jakiro can really benefit from that because you want this Jakiro to be able to push out lanes. Get something like Mechwarrior Online early.
Oh, man.
What a time for this smoke.
If they're able to find Mushi right now, they're moving in. Kyle is there. Do they spot him? Yes, they do. Burrow Strike's going to come out. He ends up finding him. Epicenter as well. That's stun. It's not going to be enough. Mushi drops. They're able to take away a couple of those creeps as well, and Ice shows up. He's come to the wrong neighborhood, but he will be able to escape.
They're going to steal these Ancients, too.
Lip is here as well, trying to find this kill. They are going to be able to catch the Night Stalker. Complexity are just rolling Mineski right now.
Yep. They finished off the last couple big Ancients, then they also proceed to block the Ancients, so no more easy farm for the Sven. Such a good time to go for that smoke play. They didn't even have vision of the Ancients when they led it. They had visions of the neutrals further to the right side. They just made a guess. They saw Jakiro farming bottom. They're like, okay, they're farming jungle. Whether we catch the Tinker or the Sven, you don't care. That's a big kill either way. The Tinker perhaps the bigger kill of the two, but Sven you're perfectly happy with. And Mushi right back to farming to the top lane. Tinker, same thing. This is where Mineski are going to be perhaps playing too slow, very passive. They've got 2 heroes that want to farm, that can't really get involved too much. Tinker needs his boots of travel. Sven needs a Blink Dagger. So the other 3 heroes, the 2 supports and Ice on the Night Stalker, there's a ton of pressure for them to actually make plays to create space needed for those carries to farm. Cole with a big advantage because of this.
Maybe Kyle Pickoff here would be a big
Night
benefit.
Stalker, caught in the jungle,
like
yeah.
They are going to be able to find him, and well, that's the kill that they needed. Same time though, it's position 5 Sand King for a tower.
Yeah, he was just kind of on his own in the jungle. It's still something. Your Tinker and Sven are farming while it goes down, so better than nothing, but still not the ideal scenario. Cole overall having the win there.
Well, all of the tier 1 towers now taking a 4,000 net worth lead into the favor of Complexity. Ancient's still blocked here, and well, Chen's gonna have a Midas on top of everything else.
Yep.
It's just feeling very, very good for Complexity.
Yeah, and again, Cole's not looking to win the game anytime soon. That's why they go this Midas on Chen. It's kind of just to give him some power levels and also get him up to that Aghanim Scepter. And then when he gets the Axe, he wants to have the levels to go with it, so we can get potentially 2 Ancient creeps with the level 12. And that's where Cole gets strong, once the Ancient creeps are in play.
Oh, the net, is it going to be there in time? Not quite. I need to stomp anyways.
A little bit out of range, and Mineski definitely just want to avoid fights. I feel like Mushi's next time will be the Blink Dagger, but we'll have to wait and see. May consider a BKB early on. It's just whether you get the BKB or the Blink first, really, in my mind, but not many other items that seem all too feasible. The Blink is going in.
Yeah, they've got Magnetize here as well. See if they end up deciding to drop it. Well, Global comes out, and now maybe instead they're going to be able to find a return kill. Jabs, he's able to get away, but Mushi left completely alone. They're bringing all the heroes in for this. Do they have enough damage in time? No.
Yeah. Jabs was going to chain stun, waited to right as the Stormhammer was going to wear off to use his stun, but gets globaled, so can't really fault him for not stunning sooner. He was going to get the perfect chain stun, but the global was even better. Limp, not particularly farmed. He got pressured a lot this game, but when you look at where the Nature's Prophet and Bloodseeker are on top of the net worth chart, you're not overly worried. Ninja Boogie bottom.
Z-Freak's just going to be able to find that kill. They got a little bit of help from Moo as there as he comes in for the last hit, and now a heal, because up top they're going on to Chessie. Unfortunately, they are going to lose the Bloodseeker there.
This time they get him. Tinker's boots of travel online too, so he's a lot more mobile, can defend these lanes. That's the one thing. The Chen really needs Ancients because they're the ones that aren't going to die to the March of the Machines as much. They're the ones which can also boost up, whether you get a Granicon to boost up the health, the Frenzy one to help push faster. You can put that on heroes like the Bloodseeker. So the Ags is very important this game for the Chen. Lane.
Night Stalker, they're chasing, they're dealing the damage, and Limp most likely to fall as they've got everything and a bit more on top of that. But the turnaround, Kyle trying to find this kill here with all the Chen creeps as well. They're dealing a good bit of damage. They decide to cancel the TP. He's going to go instead on the other side of the river. They've got him caught. Can they find him killed? It looks like the answer is yes. Moo finds that one. The kick to try and keep Jabs alive, and now they have the ulti out as well. Z-Freak not able to catch anybody else.
Okay, Jabs will get out, yeah. Slightly better trade for Mineski, 2 for 1 of course. Both mid lanes going down. The Tinker more valuable than the Silencer. That's where it's not quite as big of a win for Mineski as it could otherwise have been. Mushi gonna find Chessie. He's in Godstring form.
Well, they're bringing in the Silencer as well. Chessie in a lot of trouble. He gets the blood right off at first, but it's just gonna be a TP away. They got no problem with this at all. Another TP away, no stuns.
Yeah, this is where Kyle on the Sand King, not gonna criticize him. He can't be everywhere. He is the TP cancel. We saw the Chen do it with the Centaurs at some points, but Kyle cannot always be there for these kills for the Burrow Strike. And also, unlike a hero like Shaker, you've got to get in a lot closer. You need a Blink Dagger. You're not going to farm one as a 5-position Sand King. So draft-wise, Complexity are suffering for a lack of disables. Something Kyle has been in 8 of these 10 kills. He's done fantastic, but the rest of the team are just unable to find kills when Kyle's not there.
Well, the smoke up from Mineski, that was underneath a ward, so Complexity will understand that this is coming their way, although
got the stand though. Limp wants the bounty rune. You're a madman.
Alright, well that's a little bit crazy. We'll see if they end up being able to get away. Global comes out, but far too much damage, so he dies and they lose Global.
Yes, and we saw what happened last time. When Global was down, Mineski ran at the mid, killed the Silencer again. So this Global is a big cooldown that I'll have to be very careful about using.
Oh no, and now Moo also, he's gonna get caught. They find the kill, and now maybe gonna be able to find Kyle as well. Looks like he's gonna get away, but they found the kill on the MP anyways.
Cole were having a great start, a good laning stage, but Mineski are just playing faster tempo, and that's kind of a little bit unexpected considering the Sven and Tinker were looking to farm, but the Tinker got his boots of travel, and this trio, Night Stalker, Earth Spirit, and Jakiro are just smoking up, going for these 3-man moves and succeeding. They first found the Sand King in the jungle, now they're finding the Nature's Prophet there. The Sven found the Bloodseeker a couple of times. And when Mushi gets his blink to go with the Maka, I'm going to be
real thinking about start or really with as well.
The doesn't BKB super early. The counterplay isn't really he jumps someone with the God Strength Mask of Madness. They're almost always going to die because there's no instant counterplay. If Kyle had a Blink Dagger on Sand King, different story. He can Blink Burrow, but he's got to be in range for a Burrow Strike instantly. There's no Earthshaker Fissure. There's no easily like insta disable to deal with that Sven. So he can really wait to get the BKB. Probably gets after the Blink, but the fact he can just go for this Armlet, Mask of Madness before getting even a BKB is fantastic for Mushi's game.
Yeah, it's maybe a little bit of an unorthodox build, but it works in this instance, and he's sitting top of the net worth now and not really looking back either.
Again, the vision for Colt very good. These deep wards on the Radiant side of the map, something they have to try and take advantage of. We'll see if they start giving farm priority to the Sand King. That to me is going to be a crucial element for them. Problem is, Chen's a very greedy hero that wants to farm as well. The Ags is being worked on by Z-Freak. You really want to get that Ags around the time where you're strong, you can push and fight. Chessie will have a Radiance on the Bloodseeker at that point, certainly. You want to have the Sand King blink though, because that's your catch, that's your pickoff. Oh, Kyle though.
Oh, top lane, blink reveal, stun, silence, they take him down. I gotta tell you, Parker, this is feeling very scary to me because you're gonna have the Blink Dagger done for the Tinker as well in just a minute. And if they start finding these kills after kills, Complexity doesn't really feel like they have an answer for it.
There's something to be said for Mushi. He is a big stage player. Like Kyle jokingly asked him at the start of game 1, "You nervous?" Mushi is a player who does not get nervous. He will show up on the big lands. He'll have a disappointing showing game after game, maybe in some online ones. Not that he necessarily does. He's been playing very well in this Mineski team, but when it comes to like a clutch game 3 decider, he's the player you want on your team on a core hero, and that's exactly what he's done here. He has found so many kills for his team in unexpected ways, finding this Bloodseeker. You talk about Bloodseeker as the Sven counter, being able to rupture him, lock him down in place, but if Sven's jumping the Bloodseeker, stopping him getting off spells, suddenly Sven very good against the Bloodseeker, and we've seen multiple times Mushi find that big kill.
Yeah, and he's been the one that has to step up because Tinker was getting in so much priority trying to shut him down early. All those rotations that kept on coming mid. And, well, now they're going to be rewarded. Also, Night Stalker moving around the map, seeing what he can scout and possibly find.
He pops, I believe, Kyle's smoking with a dire ward right next to him, though. Cole do know what's going on. Problem is they can't really see too much. Those wards under darkness give very little vision.
That was so much of the thing that was the benefit for Complexity last game was their ability to keep eyes on all of the Mineski lineup. Not happening this time around.
Radiant scan shows where a lot of the Cole heroes are, and Mushi could have looked for a kill this bottom lane, but decides it's a bit too unsafe. And I feel like Mineski think this top lane may be the better place to go for these kills.
Freak. They have a haster on jabs. They're moving in. They have a stun follow-up, and with the T-boots, there is just nothing left. They are getting clobbered.
800 from his Ags. This slow Ags build-up is kind of costing Cole. They've got this Chen who wants to farm, and a Sand King who is not a Shaker. He needs a Blink Dagger. Shaker you can play with just Fissure. Sand King, at this point, early on you can play without the Blink, but we're kind of getting that to that state where without Blink Dagger, Sand King is not able to initiate, is not able to counter-initiate, and Mineski is taking advantage of that.
Well, they have caught themselves Jakiro. This is a nice pickup here, and much needed.
Mushi popped his ulti and then was like, oh wait, no, this is yeah, this is not a play.
Yeah,
Ice mid is like, that's a free tower, guys. Sure, I'll take this.
And I think we got to talk at least a little bit about what's been going on with this silencer here. It's been a really rough game for him so far. Almost lowest on the net worth out of all the core heroes, and almost being surpassed by the Chen as well.
Yeah, hero at this point is kind of hero that you just don't even realize is a core in this game. Kind of forgotten even about him because he's not a hero that can make plays. Some mid heroes you get behind, you're like, well, my job is now to gank. Silencer's like, well, I'm going to farm to catch up, but unlike the Tinker, you don't exactly farm fast or efficiently. So this Silencer is having a slow crawl up towards his Hurricane Pike and is going to be struggling to remain relevant as a carry.
Look at this. I mean, he's just willing to move
neutral
around
sent home, but Ice has been, well, typical Ice things, just the biggest menace on the map. 4, 2, and 7. He is not just finding the kills and set up for his team, but also just constantly giving them vision, pressuring, and that's allowed the Tinker and the Sven to actually farm. Mineski have gone for a slightly greedier draft than some of their previous games, and it's paid off because of the Night Stalker play.
When he had an Axe queued up actually on the Night Stalker, now instead deciding to go back to the BKB.
Oh man, he's won Z. He's trying to dive Z-Freak on the high ground by a tier 3. He knows he's going to Tinker to back him up, and that this Z-Freak Chen really wants the egg. Z-Freak was holding like just ground boost Midas. He had all his Axe pots in his backpack, and I think he realized like, I need some help. Let's carry my Ogre Club. Yeah. No point leaving that thing in my backpack when I can benefit. The better thing you should be with it, that extra pass.
I mean, the fact that they're just hanging out here, Mushi thinking about going in. Oh no, they're so close. He's just gonna end up being dropped. Kyle's trying to rotate in. They want to find something in return for this, but can they actually get anything? Who's gonna get turned around upon? They are TPing. There's nothing to break it, and well, the stun onto 3 in return. Nana's gonna TP into this as well. They just TP out another one. They don't have anything to break this, and well, there's going to be a rupture, but
his TP's in his backpack.
Don't worry, he has some time to think about it, and they don't have any way to get it. He is eventually going to be brought down by virtue of Mu. The ulti came out, but...
Yep. Mu going bottom, looking for this kill. Ninja Boogie does not have any tangos.
Yeah, this is a big one, right? Again, like the couple of kills here being very important for Complexity to gain some type of momentum. Anything is good at this point.
Does finish buying his 4-staff, though, so... Ninja Boogie achieves what he set out to at the bottom lane, farm up his first item, does give up a kill, but that's a kill that's not going to translate to much for Cole. Well, it's just so annoying when your Chen's trying to get this Axe, and that's when your lineup really comes online, and he's getting killed time and time again. This is going to be one of Z-Freak's slowest Axe timing on the hero, as far as Complexity is concerned. Normally they're used to seeing this item around that like 18 to 20 minute mark. I think Mineski realized, they realized this in early games. Zefric is the one often farming alone. You can pick him off. They did it on the Wyvern. They lost that game eventually, but they killed him so many times because he's always somewhat vulnerable.
Well, it's only 1,000 gold lead right now. It's 17 to 13. Do you feel like that's pretty indicative of the way that this is going?
It's, I think, right now a bit more Mineski favored. The Sven Tinker have not been pressured or shut down enough. Cole, though, still plenty of ways to win this game. They're going to get double BKB soon on Bloodseeker and Nature's Prophet. Rupture against the Sven, always great. The key thing for Mushi coming up in these fights is making sure he initiates on someone before he gets ruptured. If he gets ruptured, he's got to just stand there, can't do anything. If he blinks onto Prophet, Chen, Bloodseeker, whoever with God Strength on, he'll kill that hero. Then he gets ruptured, that's fine. You've already killed a hero. You get ruptured, you just stay alive, and you've already secured your team a one fight because your Tinker can do a lot of work. So the fights for Cole really come down to making sure this Sven doesn't just insta-delete one hero.
Well, let's see how they're able to make that happen, if they're going to be able to make that happen. And
they've got the silencer too.
Yeah.
You know, you control the Sven with the rupture, and you can stop the Tinker from doing damage with that global silence. So until Tinker gets a BKB, which probably comes much later, Aether Lens, maybe BKB after that. Could still consider getting the sheep before the BKB, or even something like a Shiva's Guard. Here you go Mineski though with BKB. Looks like they've won the race to the BKB. Bloodseeker about 600 away. Nature's Prophet about 1,000 away. So the first BKB on the map is Mushi.
To roll in, they want to find Zefric. He did just get his Aghanim Scepter, but that's not going to keep him alive. And actually the Golem is getting rooted there as well by the other Ancients.
I was like, does Mushi want to chase after that one? Try and delete it. Looks like it will get free.
Yeah. Aether Lens, like you said, completed as well. And Mineski now in a position where they can think about pushing for more, as Mushi looking to find Mu, and actually he's going to see him here on the low ground. Except he's getting caught out of position, and he's dead as well. So 2 now down, and this could be another objective go in their favor.
Yep. They get the high ground ward too, above the tier 3 tower. May not, we'll see if they can even get this tier 2. That may not be possible right now with, oh, Chen respawning. That's not really a dangerous tier. Yeah, they could go for this with the Liquid Fire. And then they're well set up for that high ground push or pick off with that Observer Ward. Ninja Boogie's 4 stuff, very useful to kite around things like the Bloodseeker Silence. And yeah, for Cole, they desperately need Sand King's Blink. They've been needing it for a while. It's one of those things you can't even really say let's just prioritize it, because you need to also prioritize the Ags on Chen. The Chen, when you go for this Ags build, you can't just suddenly say, oh, I'll give farm to my teammates. If you're going for like a normal like Arcanes, Mech, 4 stuff, sure, you play that 5 position, but the Midas Ags needs to keep farming. Well, there's no hero that could just stop farming is the Silencer, but that's Limp. You don't want your mid player to not be farming.
Well, now that they have it, like, what's going to be sort of the goal for complexity here? Is it group up together and then come in with NP afterwards?
It's yeah, Smoke Up is 4, Nature's Prophet push 1 lane, Smoke Up is 4, Bloodseeker is BKB as well, and then go for a get Carl to try and find a good initiation and turn a pick off into a push. You can't just try and brute force 5-man down a lane with the Chen Axe, because Tinker pushes out lanes effectively. You've got Macropyre, Jakiro clears waves. The 5-man brute force does not work, but pickoffs and that's where you need the pickoffs. And to do that, you've got to get this Blink Dagger, Smoke Up with the rest of your team other than Prophet, and see what you can do.
All right, there it is. Blink Dagger done. Macropyre down as well. Mineski keeping all of the lanes pushed out simultaneously.
Oh, yeah. Lincoln's on Mushi. He wants to block those ruptures as far as things to cancel. Also blocks Burrow Strike.
Yeah.
Talk about the 1 stun, the 1 initiation. Wow.
Oh no.
They don't have easy spells to break Lincolns with. Like casting a Sprout, Nature's Prophet off, he's not going to be there. If you're trying to smoke gank him, Prophet's the one TPing in later. Last Word is like, okay, it's a very long range spell, but
oh, the smoke. It will be scouted out. They are. That was really well done. They actually hit on the scan, and so they knew that they were right there. And Nana, what a player.
Yeah, baits in everything. Burrow Strike on the creep confirms his suspicion.
Well, the wraparound here, though, they don't have Tinker for the moment.
Used ultimate.
Oh. Okay, an opening as they run by him and looking for that BKB already out from Chessie. The rupture up. They're trying to get themselves out of there. Global does come down now, and they're able to take down 1. Ninja Boogie already dead, and Mushi just going to TP away.
Yeah.
well as everybody else, they still have that answer.
Yeah, Tinker arrives, but the call has already been made when Tinker arrives. Like, let's just ditch this fight. They use Global for this. We're fine with that. Sven does use BKB, but at the same time, Bloodseeker also did. So both carries using their 10-second BKBs. That does slightly favor Cole, since Sven is going to be more reliant on his than... Oh, I'd say they're equally, actually. Yeah. Jesse really needs his against Tinker. Sven really needs his against, like, what? I mean, he doesn't really need against Sand King with Lincolns. He needs it more so just to make sure he can kind of get his damage output out during God Strength when he blinks in. Doesn't get kited too badly, so... All in all, Mineski, if they can turn this global cooldown into objectives or a fight, they're going to be looking very good. Maybe even a Roshan. Without global, yeah, this could just be a free Rosh for them.
Well, and the other thing, too, is they've got the Night Stalker Ags now, all the vision in the world. I think that that Sentry is going to miss the ward that was down, but nonetheless, this is looking like they're going to be able to build on this 4,000 net worth lead, and Complexity kind of just stuck inside here. It's just so hard to really have an understanding of what's going on around the map with that Night Stalker Darkness.
Yeah, they pop it now to secure Rosh. Cole could guess what's going on, but they are going to lose the vision game. They're in a... They have no global. This is, yeah, impossible to contest. Mushi with Aegis now. Very, very dangerous Sven to deal with, and also dangerous Tinker. They did not draft to really counter the Tinker. The Silencer is fairly useful, but it's not a hero that's going to allow you to kill the Tinker. It may just negate some of his damage output in the fight if he has to wait for the global to wear off. And he's also got 3.8k gold. He could buy a BKB now if he wants to.
Yeah. He also has a regen rune, so if a battle does start breaking out here, this could be Rocket Laser City.
Doesn't look like he's going to go for the BKB. I kind of don't feel he needs it until much, like maybe as like a last type item, 5th or 6th item.
Okay.
As a Shivers queued up, we'll see if that's going to be the purchase or not.
Complexity doing a really good job of making sure that they're keeping this bottom lane pushed out. Mineski, not whatever they want, and they TP before they lose.
Yeah, playing well. They're kind of avoiding fights while Globals down. They look different while Globals effective Roshan, so no global back. If you want to find Mineski, you've got to get a really good initiation off. You can fight into the Aegis. If Mushi like uses his God Strength BKB and you kite around him, he does no damage. It doesn't matter if he's got an Aegis because he's not doing damage when he respawns.
So one thing we are kind of seeing, if you look at the net worth graph, is basically it's the Tinker, it's the Sven, and then a very large drop-off. Like Night Stalker, he's a core, but it's not to the same extent. If they're able to get a decent rupture off, how do you feel about Complexity's chances?
Pretty good. The problem is right now Sven has the 2 lives, so if you rupture him, he may just save his BKB and God Strength for his 2nd life. But once his Aegis expires, it'll be an even playing field in some ways. A 4k gold lead, if Mineski don't have Aegis, is not really a big advantage for them. The big problem for Cole is still going to be the vision. Night Stalker going for this Ags gem build is going to control the entire map. He's going to deward stuff. He's going to make it very difficult for Sand King to initiate. You may have a Blink Dagger. Well, now you get spotted from outside that Blink Dagger range because of this Ag. So anytime it's nighttime, Cole can't fight. Cole have to fight during daytime with Global and not against Aegis. If they can fulfill those 3 criteria, I would say they have an edge in a team fight. But that's obviously 3 criteria they have to fill, you know? Yeah, Aegis is expiring, nighttime eventually ends, Global's up. So, you know, it will happen. There will be moments where it happens. The problem is what happens afterwards. How convincingly do you win that team fight? Do you turn that team fight into objectives if you do win it? And that's where Mineski, every time Globals use, have ran at Cole or taken Roshan or always made sure they achieve something.
And now they've got even more avenues to continue to take the fight, like the Earth Spear. He picks up the Blink Dagger so he can help to be that first person to set up for the Sven, and maybe afterwards wait for a big jump in from Mushi that blows them all to hell. But going to be, again, Nana pushing out these lanes, and he's been able to do whatever he wants. Like, he had 5 deaths at somewhere around the 15-minute mark. He hasn't died again since then.
Yep. It's been a strong Tinker game from him, and there's someone he needs to do to make sure he gets farm and items, because, yeah, late game here is going to be very difficult to deal with. He's almost hoping this he almost wants to fight just so that Bloodseeker's BKB can get, like, churned away at it and get down to 5 seconds, because that's where this Bloodseeker will really struggle in the late game, when he has a 5-second BKB.
You see that? Ninja Boogie just, like, runs in and throws out 1 liquid fire, takes down the tower and runs away.
Fun times. It's one of those 5 positions that is a lot more enjoyable to play because you get to farm.
Yeah.
It's like your job to push out lanes as a Jakiro, and all of a sudden you get to drop macro pyre and creep waves. He's got 100 last hits. That's the dream as a support.
I love it.
Oh, they see Chessie with the ward. They're running for him.
Tinker is there as well. He's going to be able to join them after the fact. Chessie is in a ton of trouble. Gets the BKB off and going to be able to TP away. They don't have enough damage. That was needed.
Yeah, they didn't initiate with a stun. They allowed him to get the BKB up there. Earth Spirit blinked in, and then I'm not sure he didn't instantly drop a rock to Boulder Smash to use the Boulder Smash. Perhaps should have gone for a long range one, or I think the easiest thing is to let the Sven initiate there.
Yeah.
That was definitely a fumble to play from Mineski. They had the vision, they knew he was going for the rune, and they still don't get the kill.
And I mean, if you blow him up right there, force a buyback at this point in the game,
Yeah,
that would be tremendous.
That would have been a big kill, and I'm sure Mineski, that's one of those mistakes I'll look back and be like, yeah, that should have been a kill. Only way it's not a kill should be if he has godlike reflexes and like BKB dodges the Sven stun when he blinks in. But if you blink right on top of him in melee range,
yeah,
99% of the time you'll get that stun.
Well, Mineski still containing complexity to their base, but now with the Aegis expiring...
Aegis expiring, it's daytime. 40 seconds of daytime.
All right, let's see if they can do it. It's a very small window, but it's a window.
It is.
And they're moving towards where Mushi is. Complexity, can they find this opening? Chessie is there as well, but not everybody in the area. Nana is just now TPing out. This would be such a good moment for them if they can actually find the initiation.
They see them.
There's the opening, Epicenter out as well. They got the Blood Rain already. No, it doesn't hit on anybody. They only found the Earth Spirit. They're not going to be able to do it. They're able to disjoint the stun for a moment, though, and the Rupture is already out on the Mushi. Can they make this work? There's the jump charge as well. They're trying to run away. Ice Path is down as well. BKB out from Chessie. Global is there as well. They're going to be able to turn now. Mushi trying to do whatever he can. He's going to be rude to the spot. Starting to get ran down. Can they find the kill? Oh my god, they turn around. That just blows them the hell up. Oh my god.
Mushi's composure. He's like, he just takes his hand off the keyboard. He's like, I'm ruptured, guys. It's fine. I don't need to use my hands for this 6 to 8 seconds. He just stood there on hold position. He waited for the latest possible moment to BKB, and that was the deciding factor. Sand King he thought he could go in and get a Burrow Strike off, but Mushi's BKB lasted long enough that he actually survived his way through it. So many Sven players there would have panicked while ruptured, seen the heroes running in, being like, I gotta pop my BKB. No, Mushi says, I'm gonna wait the last possible second to BKB, and he turns that one around, and what a play coming out from him. 13k plus gold lead, racks to be claimed, global down, nighttime. Mineski just blow this game wide open with a fantastic Sven play.
Well, and Nana, they just had so much damage, like, out of nowhere. Felt like they blew up.
Man, yeah, he crushed them, that fight.
Now, Mushi, a quick little blink away, make sure that he keeps on hitting those barracks. Just like that, it was lining up. Everything was like what Complexity wanted, the perfect fight, and it just didn't happen.
They have God Strength again too, Gabe. This is really dangerous spot for Cole. No global silence for 40 seconds. Mineski's actually waiting and hoping to get a pick here. They're not showing themselves. They're saying, come on, guys. Who's there? There's Kyle. All right, easy kills.
That's a big one. That rock hits Chessie as well. The silence onto him. Can they follow it up with any more? He's already down to about a third HP. Gets Test of Faith back, and well,
surprised they're not going for this one. They're gonna play it safe. Are they gonna again? They fake back once. They're gonna fake back twice.
Oh, Mushi jumps forward. He finds Limp. That's going to be a stun. He gets ruptured, but he's already where he wants to be. Underneath the tier 4 towers and beating the hell out of Limp. Chessie now also almost able to bring down that Earth Spirit. He's moving pretty fast. Mushi's still been hit by the tower, but Nana's the one dealing the damage. Ice with the control. Mineski taking it all as they're able to run away. Moo just wants to find this kill somehow, some way, but it ain't happening. They take him down as well. No buybacks. Chen is the only one alive, and the barracks is down.
They've got a Sand King with Epicenter, but that does not feel like enough. Not when Nightstalker has the axe. You can't get the clean initiation off. Cole have just not had the vision they need in these. It's one big play, big time smoke, with just firing not get the results they needed, and they're going to get picked apart by their base. This is looking all over for Complexity.
You can hear Mineski in the
They're in the
background. They're feeling good. They don't give a damn. Ice, taking everything. He's going to get kicked away, but still going to end up picking up that gem and running away.
He'll probably just say he dropped that gem on purpose, you know. Ice. Putting a ton of pressure on, but definitely all signs for me pointing to Mushi as the big player this game. He dominated the game on this Sven. For a hero known to struggle against Bloodseeker, he made it look easy. Mega creeps and Complexity are back against the wall.
And they want to end it right now. They've had enough. They're going to jump forward. The global comes out, but already they've got the answer. Z-Freak is dead again. Tier 4 tower is the only thing left standing. And Mineski getting what they want. The blink away as the silence came out. They blink again. They kick their buddy out of there. Mineski are not losing anybody here.
Yeah. Cole will play it out. I think I said that's we saying like, oh, I guess they shouldn't have died to found it, but oh, Chessie didn't get the BKB off.
Stun to follow. Chessie's gone. They move. BKB is there as well, but Nana not really afraid. The epicenter comes out. They got the BKB on the Tinker as well. He's actually getting a right-click fight as well. And nothing to break it. Kyle still looking for an opening. Mushi, he finds the stun. They find the kill. Kyle gonna be brought down. Complexity losing right there. They've played well, but GG finally called. Mineski are gonna be in the grand finals.
Calling GG's, well played and good luck for that. I think Cole have to be happy with their performance. They played some really good Dota. They are the ones kind of setting somewhat of a new meta for at least a lot of the teams in this tournament, but this is the best Mineski have played by far. The Mineski we saw in the group stage was shaky. They got through. They were in the easier group. I think most people would admit that. But they definitely showed that they are deserving to be in this playoffs, deserving to be in this grand finals with such a well-played best of three here. Cole